The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Oh, we no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner. Not as always today, apparently.
I usually say as always, but there was the one time you weren't there, so I try not to say as always.
You can't let me forget that, can you?
Well, no, I mean, it's a day that we'll all remember for various reasons.
Infamy.
It felt weird that day.
Anyway,
and the Demented and Fermented,
I'm here too. My name's Wayne.
who's been here for all but one episode as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can always hold that above us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't miss an episode because I know how to work the board and all the audio stuff. So, anyway, we've traveled quite a bit. It was a fun ride.
It was?
I would imagine.
Minus the traffic.
Minus the traffic. Traffic's always a problem. But we have made it to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We're right down the street from the Sands.
And vegan treats.
And vegan treats. I have not lost a lot of money at vegan treats, but I have lost a lot of money at the Sands.
I've lost a lot of money at vegan treats.
And I've seen Weezer several times at the Sands.
Including tonight.
Including tonight, of course.
I bought a Halloween cake.
Well, very nice. I did not go gambling yet. The night is young. Anyway, so we are at Bonn Brewing, which means we have with us Mr.
Me.
Mr. Me.
Mr. Me.
Yeah.
Remember Mr. this guy, Mr. that guy?
Mr. Meeseeks.
Mr. and
Mr.
Miss,
Meeseeks.
like...
Mr.
There were these books, this series of children's books.
I'm not familiar.
Oh,
do
yeah.
not remember that
like
at all,
Mr.
no.
Strong or Miss...
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind.
I know it's strong sad,
Well,
strong bad,
Okay,
strong
so
mad.
Strongbow.
I could be Mr. Strongbow.
Mr. Strongbow.
Strongbow. We can do
Mr. Sam
Mr.
from
Sam.
Bonn Place Brewing Company in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Right down the street from Vegan Treats and...
And the Sands
Sands
Casino.
The Sands
The
Casino.
Sands
Is that
Casino.
here? Is that in Bethlehem?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Cool.
I thought you said you live right behind here, too.
I do. I live on the south side.
Yeah, but
So
like,
you
isn't
literally
yeah, but he
live
also-
2 blocks
he
from
also-
us.
right up
I'm
there.
also being a jerk, a D word right now.
Nah, well,
He also owns a brewery, and so doesn't have a whole lot of free time
true,
Right.
true.
Or free money.
or free money.
But I do have money to spend at Vegan Treats for my vegan wife,
There
who's
you
not
go.
actually vegan, but likes
kinda-
to be occasionally.
Kind of like
it's-
Steph.
yeah.
Well, they make awesome bakers.
Oh,
It doesn't
they're-
matter if you're vegan or not.
I have to
100%,
say, as an
100%.
omnivore, I've eaten at vegan treats, and they are very good.
I have not.
I have
Yeah.
to say, as an omniscient being, I've eaten at Vegan Treats.
that you can say with authority they make the best vegan pastries.
I'm so
I've
happy
been
that
everywhere
this is currently a
in the
vegan
universe.
podcast right now. It's my dream come true.
You said the vegan verse?
I think
The
it's
Vegaverse.
this is a new tangent record.
Not even 5
We didn't
minutes
even
in.
get through the intro.
Yeah.
We
We're
didn't even
tangenting.
finish the introduction, and we're already on tangents.
Hey, I'll allow it.
This is why I knew Sam would be the perfect Beer Busters guest.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Who's Sam? Oh, yes,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Sam
Yeah.
from Bonn Place Brewing
Yeah.
Company.
Mr. Me, as it was.
Mr. Me.
Yeah.
Mr. Strong Bad. Strongbow.
Yes. Well, Sam, Mr. Me, has been kind enough to give us a sipping beer. What do we
yeah.
have that we're sipping on?
You are sipping Mooey, which is we label it an ordinary bitter. I'd say it's more of a best bitter or special bitter because of its alcohol content, but it is an English style bitter. Golden straw in color, 4.8%. In this case, not all English malt, all English hops. We may be working on that recipe, but it did just get silver at the Great American Beer Fest.
I was going to say you don't want to work on it too much.
Yeah.
So we don't want to
doing something
twist
right.
that up too much. But yeah, you're drinking Mooey, which is named after my in-laws' cat, despite popular belief. I'm not a cat guy, so don't get too excited.
Is your cat's name Mooey or
The
Moo?
cat's name is Maybelline.
Oh.
But so
outta here, get outta
do
here.
you
Nope,
see
nope.
this tank here, Hunron BFM?
Oh, yeah, we
Yes.
were looking at the tanks
So,
and trying to
okay.
decipher what they said.
Hunron BFM. Hun is Gina's mom, my
Okay.
wife's mom. Renard is my father-in-law, but nobody calls him Renard because where he's from, they don't say Renard, they say Renard, and that rhymes with a word that kids are mean with.
Yeah.
And then BFM is Big Fat Moo, which is what they call their cat. And Big Fat Moo would be Mooey, whom I have a lifetime agreement with. You make me not sneeze, I make you delicious beer.
Okay.
But I don't make her into delicious beer because then I would sneeze.
Well, yeah.
So I named delicious beer.
Well,
after her.
my cat's name is also Moo.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, so
Shut
That-
the front door.
That, that beer is named after your cat, sir.
I'll take it. I will take it. Moo is awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Mooey, I Googled it after we won the silver because I was like, what does Mooey mean to people? What? Actually, I was just trolling ourselves. I was like, what happens when you look up Mooey now? And Mooey is, well, it was Sanskrit for something, and I'm going to misquote myself and Wikipedia or Wiktionary. But it's in London. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's in England. It's face, but it's also a sub slang for a female body part.
Is that like Cockney rhyming slang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hello, Mooey.
I'm gonna get up in that Mooey.
I'm gonna get Mooey. And you're like, are you gonna get up in my face or in my vulva?
Or something. My vulva.
Because either way, I'm into it. So Mooey, sir, is and folks is
Oh, Buster, you're such a pussy.
yeah. Well, aptly named, right?
Yeah, right.
So Mooey is named after a pussycat and cat's vulva.
Bit of fish. Bit of fish.
On that note,
It's a good
tangent.
Yeah.
Tangent. We have some news to talk about.
Tasting notes.
Well, we also have to remind the internet how they can
yes.
interact with us, of course.
Yes.
You can follow us, Twitter, Instagram, @BeerBusters, Facebook. I'd say Facebook.com, but you're using an app, so just ignore the .com and type in BeerBusters Podcast in your search thing and find us and
Search
like us
thing.
and comment and subscribe and go into your podcasting app, and if we could ask a little more of you, rate us.
And review.
And review us, because that'll let the Beer Busters train keep running a little bit longer. We might even be able to grow and get to some breweries that are outside
and if you
of
tell
the
two
regional
friends,
area.
and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends.
Yes.
I promise it's not a
and so
pyramid
on,
scheme like Wayne is
and
making
so
it out
on,
to be.
And so on. We also have a phone number, don't we?
We
Dan?
do
What is
have
that
a phone number. That phone number is 805-991-BEER, which is 805-991-2337. You can text, you can call, and leave a voicemail. Nobody's going to answer. It's a do not disturb, so like you can try to call me and think that I'm...
call and
yeah,
call and
just
call
leave a
and
message. I
Call
promise.
and tell us your favorite beer name that may or may not be slang for a part of the female anatomy.
I'm actually curious about that now.
Mulva.
Mulva.
Dolores! Oh, my God.
Don't forget, you can also go to patreon.com/beerbusters to sign up to become a patron if you really like us and want to support us. Check it out to learn how you can get cool behind-the-scenes perks.
As if we haven't given you enough reason yet.
Yes.
One of those cool things that you get as a patron is Last Call.
Yes, it is.
Which is the drunken, sloppy after show that we do.
And if our intro was this interesting, I can't wait for last
just
call.
wait for that. It'll be so much better. But we do indeed have some news. Millennials are back. I mean, they never really went away.
Dan, you're a millennial.
Technically, so are you.
No.
Not me.
Well, it depends. How old are you?
36 years old and 4 months.
So is
And
that
it's
the
4
cutoff?
months.
He's 36 and I'm 35
It
and
depends.
I'm
So
a
it
millennial.
depends on
and
who
he's
you
not?
ask.
I'm not a millennial.
Yeah, you are.
I'd like to believe that the cutoff is... Oh, wait, that wouldn't work because you're older than me. Never mind. I was going to say between me and you, but that would make me a millennial
Yeah,
and not
you're,
you.
You're
by
a month and a half younger
by
than
like
me.
a month and a half, yeah. So that didn't work.
Tangent.
Well, with millennials, I promise it
This
comes into play.
episode is called Tangent.
Pretty much. Goldman Sachs recently downgraded Boston Beer Company, who, of course, is Sam Adams, from neutral to sell on their market watch. And Constellation Brands, who's Corona, Modelo, and a bunch more, from buy to neutral. The investment bank announcement lowered 12-month price targets by 20% for Boston Beer and 6% for Constellation. And I promise this isn't just a boring thing about the stock market.
Well, I was going to say you teased millennials, and now you're talking about stocks. I'm
yes,
kind of confused.
Because according to Forbes, blame it all on millennials.
All right.
Because they don't want to drink Sam Adams.
Blame it all on millennials.
Blame it on the millennial.
Exactly.
Yes.
They consume less alcohol than generations before, which as a millennial, as much as I don't want to admit it, I drink more than I ever have in my life, and I drink enough to make up for all those shitty other millennials. And when they do...
Maybe they wouldn't whine and complain so much if they just drank more.
I know. Beer mellows you out. But apparently when they
Put down the pumpkin spice lattes and pick up
a
beer.
pumpkin beer.
No, a good beer.
That's you got to get them into it somehow. They apparently choose wine or spirits over beer. Millennials account for a striking 42% of all wines consumed in the U.S., to the tune of nearly 160 million cases. Some also believe that health-conscious 35 to 44-year-olds might explain the switch to wine, which is viewed as more healthful than either spirits or beer, and likely takes less calories for 8 ounces of wine to deliver the buzz than 24 ounces of beer. Because let's face it, you have to drink more beer to get a little more drunk than you do the wine or the liquor.
yeah.
What may be worse for beer and also for wine and alcohol in general is that the habits of the generation behind millennials, who this article claims are the 21 to 25-year-olders, they prefer cannabis over alcohol. So weed is seeing a spike, booze is seeing a decline, and out of all the booze, beer is, thanks to these goddamn millennials.
Interesting.
Yes.
Why can't we just make cannabis beer?
Yeah, why not?
I'm sure somebody in Denver.
I think it's
probably
been
did.
done.
Oh, I know somebody.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, as somebody who was just out in Denver.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you didn't go?
No, my beer was there,
Oh,
having
that's-
a heck of a time with cannabis.
That's kind of shitty. I'm sorry you had to stay behind in Pennsylvania.
No,
If it
that's
ha-
okay.
If your beer hadn't smoked so much weed out there, would
Right.
it have taken the gold?
I'm sorry I was late, man. I was like right there on it.
man.
But
I'm
I'm really good.
I'm here.
I promise.
Mooey's not here, man.
Oh my God.
I'm not a part of the body.
In other news, as we've talked about to no end almost, we all know that AB InBev is buying a lot of breweries, and now
You're not going to do this story.
I am going to do this story.
Yeah.
Steph, you posted it to our Facebook when it first broke.
Did not. That guy did.
I did, actually.
Wayne, you posted it to our Facebook
Yeah.
when the story first broke.
Well, you know what? Everybody was talking about it, so I thought, we have to, I do our due diligence
I know.
as
There's
purveyors
no way
of
we're
beer
going to
news.
raise $3 billion.
Oh, it's more
not
than
gonna
that.
happen.
Well, it's just
300 billion,
Yeah,
or whatever
I mean,
the hell it is.
it's obviously not serious.
So
it's
for
just
any-
like a PR thing.
If you're not sure what we're talking about, AB InBev has a market value of about $213 billion. And that comes into play because the Brewers Association wants to crowdfund $213 billion to buy AB InBev to stop them from buying craft breweries and diluting the craft pool.
Well, and the last time I paid any attention to this, and by the time this episode releases, this news is like 3 weeks old or something.
Yeah,
since they started it.
and the amount of money pledged will certainly be different.
But yeah, it had hit $1 million.
It was at $3 million last
It
time.
is
Oh, was it
currently
really?
at $3,061,970
So-
by 9,500 backers.
Here's the thing. If you pledge to this, whatever, I don't. It's not like a Kickstarter. Is it their own thing they're doing?
It's their own thing.
So they're
where-
not doing it through like a crowdfunding
right
platform.
because the problem is if you use any already established crowdfunding platforms, your money actually gets taken.
Exactly.
So like if it's GoFundMe, your money goes into their
right,
pocket. If
but
it's,
but with Kickstarter, it
right,
doesn't.
Kickstarter,
If
you have
don't
to
hit
meet your goal, and then the money gets charged.
But even
this
with
one-
this, they're nobody has to pay anything,
Right.
Unless they raise $213 billion.
yeah, and at that point, then they'll contact you asking for your billing
but
information.
if you pledge, you get swag.
Yeah, well, you don't even have to pledge. Just by going to the website,
So you
get
can just
swag.
get free swag.
By donating, you can get like a shirt, but going to the website, they'll send you either a sticker or a beer koozie. You look so not thrilled by this story, Steph.
I don't know. I mean, I get it, but I just feel like
It's publicity at this point. That's all it is, and they want to make a splash because AB was buying craft breweries, and now they claim they're stopping, but we all know they'll buy another one soon again.
It's definitely an effective bit of PR because everybody's talking about it. Everybody
True.
from consumers to brewers to breweries and everything is talking about it. So it's definitely like it's gotten in the news. It's gotten in the zeitgeist of the beer world.
Yep.
So I mean, it's been effective on that front. It's kind of goofy. It's obviously not.
Oh, they don't. They clearly don't expect to raise $213 billion at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, to be honest with you.
I just think it would be funny if they actually raised the money, and then the problem is, even if they raise the money, AB has to agree to sell, which is
They
not
can't
going
just-
to happen.
They can't just forcibly.
Although I would like a $213 billion payday.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be amazing.
You just have to wonder,
I'd
though.
buy a state.
Who owns AB? I mean, look, I know the governing body will say, I know who owns AB, but it's not like when August Bush owned Anheuser-Busch. We'll
Right.
say.
Right.
So do humans even own AB InBev anymore?
I
or is it
imagine
just
it's like a board of directors.
Yeah, they
and
love
then-
money boards of directors.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
They're
they
like,
do. Oh, they'll take it.
oh, this is wonderful. How many zeros?
If you could, far exceed the actual value of the company, but then they might actually sell. But
Yeah, and I doubt they will.
I mean, what kind of schlong swinging experience was that for Ballast Point when they were like, "Hey, we want to buy you for X." No, we're cool. We want to
Yeah.
buy you for Y. No, we're cool. We want to buy you for Z, which is $1 billion.
I'll take
that. I'll take that meeting.
yeah, sure.
I would
Okay,
totally
let's
take
talk.
it.
I
Let's talk.
mean, I don't even know how Constellation will recoup that, but I also don't know. I can't fathom numbers like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it all seems like it boils down to distribution. So clearly they have to put more money into the production, which means there's going to be more brewing, which means they'll have to hire more people to brew the beer. But then it all boils down to distribution because at the end of the day, that's where you make it all happen.
Right.
That's
Well-
what I see these deals being more of than anything else because they don't really play into the actual liquid itself other than giving you more equipment and more access to more ingredients to brew the same beer on a larger scale.
And again, not knowing much about business besides kind of owning one. But never going to business school or doing any of the analytics on this.
Right there with you.
If AB came out and acquired Blue Point, for example, which happened, this makes sense to me because they're like, hey, you're in how many stadiums in New York City?
Yeah.
A burgeoning beer market. You're not Philly or Boston, so the craft side, but you're the top beer market in the country, one of the top beer markets in the world, and you have this much sharehold. Well, even if we buy you and dissolve you and take that tap back, that's worth the $26 million or $24 million, whatever it was. That made sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they went after Yuengling Lager, or Yuengling in general. Maybe they went after Brooklyn. These make sense to me. Ballast Point, I was like, whoa, guys.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Is that
folks.
really $1 billion? What it sold for?
That's the number I remember hearing. That I heard $1 billion. Yeah.
It's because of Habanero Sculpin. Let's
Yeah.
just admit it, guys.
so
Come on.
good.
Totally. It is. Yeah, but AB InBev also recently said they were going to stop buying craft breweries.
Right, because they had to lay off
they got rid of their high end or whatever it was called. So I think the value that they saw going into this whole acquisition trend that's happened over the past however many years. I think they saw diminishing returns because the more they were buying these breweries, the more it was becoming general knowledge that they own these breweries, and the more that was being seen as a negative.
Right.
So now they're not buying the value of the beer; they're buying the value of the brand.
Right.
And if them owning the brand makes the brand less valuable, there's no point in them buying the brand.
Unless they're dissolving a nuisance.
Right.
Like again, so if
Exactly.
you're in Yankee Stadium, MetLife,
Right.
Or
whatever
they're
call it.
taking a chunk of a market share.
Sure.
For themselves.
Now you're investing $26 million into $100 million
Yeah,
a year
exactly.
potentially.
Yeah.
So the Red Sox should just buy the Yankees and then dissolve them.
I don't think that's
See,
how
now I'm
sports
from the
work.
Bronx, but I'm a Mets fan, so it's
sorry to
okay.
hear
So it's okay.
Who was wearing a Flyers sweatshirt?
Yeah, no, it was
That
me.
was this
It was
guy.
totally me.
I forget I'm in Pennsylvania once in a while. Well, I just lost all your listeners, guys. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm a Bruins fan, so I get
Yeah.
shit all the time.
Yeah.
Right
All
on.
the time.
Weird. So if you want to pledge to take craft back, just go to takecraftback.com.
Wait,
And
we're advertising this now? They're not paying us.
$213 billion.
$213 billion.
Yeah.
Let's have them shoot for $214 billion, and we'll take that last one.
All right.
All right.
Deal.
But at the very least, you'll get a sticker or a koozie.
I will
don't-
advertise the shit out of this.
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think we've gotten approval for any of this, guys.
Yep, we just made the deal.
I'm pretty
right
sure
now.
everybody knows it's a joke and that it's all tongue in cheek.
Oh, these days?
But if you want a better sticker, find us at an event and get a Beer Buster sticker
There you go.
because they're awesome, and all the cool kids have them. Buy a shirt while you're at it because all the cool kids are wearing those too. I'm the one of us at the table.
Yeah,
that's
you're not wearing a
shirt.
Beer
Oh,
Buster shirt.
okay.
We're wearing a Beer Buster.
Yeah, no, I don't even have one of those shirts yet.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to get one before we all
They're
go
in my
home.
car.
Yeah, I'm getting one. Anyway, we are, as we've already mentioned, with Mr.
I thought you were stripping.
Yeah, right. We're,
I think I am too.
oh, my God.
Oh,
Wow.
Mr. Me is taking off his shirt here.
Mr. Strongbow.
Strongbow.
Mr. Strongbow taking off the shirt.
Mr.
With support local beer. Is that what that is? Shirt.
Yeah,
underneath?
this is
Okay.
actually I've seen this on multiple breweries' shirts, but this is from Lake Wallenpaupack. We were there on
wow.
Wednesday brewing with a good friend of mine, CJ Constantine, up there. He's the head brewer there, but this is their shirt, and I was like, "Whoa, rad!" Because it says "Support local beer."
It's a cool shirt.
Yeah. It's a neat one.
But you weren't just doing a collab with them. You were using some very special local ingredients as well.
We were, yes. We were incorporating some Pennsylvania malt and some Pennsylvania hops. In fact, Sunnybray hops and Deer
Hops
Creek
roll.
malt.
We love all those
Malt
guys.
Yep.
drools.
Drools, I like it.
When you
Roll
mash it
malt rolls.
improperly. That's some weird enzyme reactions right there.
So what was the beer style?
It is a saison. So it's a foeder. It's going to be a foeder conditioned saison. It was going to be a foeder fermented saison, but we elected to ferment it in steel. We're going to condition it in the foeder instead, just for more control. But using malted oats, malted wheat, malted rye. We just did a very similar one here that was all PA. Malted buckwheat, though, was the one big difference. And ours was entirely Deer Creek, also 7 barrels as opposed to 20 barrels, or 10 barrels in the case of Wallenpaupack. But the other malt was floor malted Bohemian Pills, which I think is going to be really nice. So a saison with all local malt, or mostly local malt, all local hops. Sunnybray.
And you spent some time at Sunnybray, right?
Yeah. Whoa, what a cool operation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've recorded there
Oh.
at their house.
I wish I was
They
there.
made us dinner and
Oh, it was
cookies.
so good.
and
I was just
we hung
thinking
out
that.
with the chickens.
Of course.
On the way
talking,
here.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that the other day.
Yeah, I was remembering that chili was so good.
Yeah, and the
cookies.
beef that was in there was a cow like 3 days
And the
before.
cookies.
yeah.
So I definitely had either meningitis, tuberculosis, or AIDS or something when I went out there because I was dying. I don't have it anymore. You're good. But
But it probably wasn't AIDS.
Got a sip of herpelitis.
Well, Magic Johnson got rid of
Oh,
it.
he had a full blood transfusion.
So I don't know what I did. I had a 2-hour drive. But no, I got to sit out there with Adam quite a while and discuss his process and see the Oast and the pelletizer and the harvester and everything, and just got to really see how serious they are. And I knew they were because now having Josh on board and just being privy to certain information and speaking to people in our world, that is the craft beer world. I've heard a ton about it, but not until I went out there did I see it. And wow, it's just so rad to have that 2 hours away,
Yep.
not a 6-hour flight away.
Yeah,
the other side
for
of the country.
sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was really rad, and what a beautiful property. And just, I've never been to the Cumberland Valley before, so kudos to those guys for doing what they're doing. And what a power couple, too,
Yeah, oh, they are the best.
Yeah.
I love those two.
King and queen.
Yep.
So,
And speaking of Josh, for those that have listened before, have heard his voice on our podcast.
Extra
He's talking
tasty,
about
crispy.
extra crispy Josh.
you may
from
hear
Deer
him
Creek.
again tonight if I decide to have too many Mooeys.
We should get him back here at
Swap
least for
out.
a little talk. So how did you snag him?
Oh, because I won the lottery. How do we snag him? So he came up here to brew with us when we've used all Deer Creek malt multiple times. We've done 3 100% Pennsylvania beers. That means yeast included, but we've done, I want to say, 8 entirely Deer Creek malt and grain beers. And the reason I differentiate or at least acknowledge grain is because we've used raw wheat sourced through Deer Creek Malt House. And Josh was helping us out on the occasional brew, especially when we use their wares, their malt and grain. And eventually, when my wife had gotten too pregnant to work here anymore and was ready to have a baby, I decided that I was going to take a day off, which was really weird. But Josh was available to brew with us, so I left it to Josh and Ryan, my assistant brewer, to brew beer, and that was actually Nemo, which also placed at GABF. That got a bronze. I like to think that the batch that I then brewed afterwards would have gotten a gold, but I'll take third best,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, this
But,
time. This time.
so-
There's always next year.
So funny enough, that was actually right before we hired Josh on, but Josh was just looking for a little bit of change of pace. He is a little bit closer to here. There was a lot more brewing opportunity. I don't want to speak for his relationship with Deer Creek, but I know that we still have a great relationship with them, so I'm certain he does too. It was just, I'll let him answer that portion of the question. But
I just need
it took
to
some
know,
begging and pleading.
Did he bring Francisco with him, or is Francisco still at Deer Creek?
I assume he's still at Deer
What's a
Creek.
Francisco?
Well,
I want
that answers
that.
That answers that.
I want that.
You would know if Francisco was here.
Yeah. Do we have pictures of Francisco?
Probably
Oh,
somewhere.
somewhere.
Where's Francisco?
Francisco's a pinata.
Bring him to me. Oh, he's a pinata.
It's a
Yeah.
pinata. A llama or an alpaca?
Whatever the normal
Well-
horse-looking pinata is.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Whoa.
But not a horse.
It's a horse, but not a horse. Like a horse,
It
but
looks
not
like
a
a
horse.
horse, but not a horse.
Right.
He was a llama.
I gotta say,
A
as an
donkey?
as an
It's a donkey.
omniscient being, I don't really know the difference between an alpaca and a llama.
That's
Well,
because in reality there is none.
We saw a sign coming up here. There's somebody who shaves alpacas and makes sweaters out of them and is selling
alpaca
There's an
products. yeah.
alpaca farm right near my house.
them. What?
Yeah. Yeah, if you go on, anyway, we can
No.
talk about
I
it.
just
Yes,
like to
I'm
say
not
alpaca.
even kidding. Like
Alpaca.
a half mile.
Alpaca.
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 Bring me, dame una alpaca. I've never listened to a podcast. P.S. This is my second one that I've been on to best of my knowledge.
You
Okay,
didn't listen to
okay.
the other one you were on?
No,
What was the other one you were on?
the other one I was on.
I was going to say you could buzz
It
market
was
if you want.
no, they were really rad. It was a couple. They live in New York now. They're a comedian, a funny couple,
Right.
And they do like a love podcast, and they
Okay.
did it at the Steel Stacks at Arts
okay.
Quest.
Yeah.
It was really rad. I'm sure I could look it up very easily on my magical rectangle and tell you exactly.
You probably could, yeah. So could our listeners.
It's very funny. I'm sure of it. I talk a lot of trash on my mother, so I never listen to it.
Oh, yikes.
Do you think your mom
It's
listens
about
to it?
love.
You do want to know
My
what
mom
you said.
doesn't know what a pod is. Neither
nor how
cast,
to
nor
cast,
cast.
how to
Nor
cast
Nor
it.
does she have enough podcasts to necessitate entire rack.
So speaking of collaborations, you've also did another more local collaboration recently, this
Yes.
week, in fact.
Yeah, it was back to back. It was Wednesday at Lake Wallenpaupack. We did a saison, and then yesterday, which was Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah. Thursday. Friday. Yesterday, we brewed over at Lost Tavern in Hellertown. I don't know that we've released, quote unquote, the style of beer like to the public, but we wanted to do something that would sort of mess with people's. It's a flavor perception thing. So it's let's just say it's pale, but drinks like a stout.
So white stout.
So like a white stout, like a pale stout. That may use Monocacy coffee because we both use we both utilize Monocacy Coffee Roasters coffee right down the street here on lovely Southside Bethlehem. I hear there's a casino down the street somewhere too.
So I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah. I lost a cat there once.
So how do you add the coffee so that the beer still stays pale?
So my method of adding coffee has always been in the second. Well, no, that's not true. My method of adding coffee has differed every time. Generally, I'll either add it in the hopback during during hopback edition, or I add it as a cold brew in the bright tank.
Right.
Their method is more ground infusion in the secondary, and they say that it imparts a lot less color. But we made this beer pretty darn. It's like 2.5 SRM to
Wow.
begin with, so it's already super pale to begin with. So that even the addition of a minimal amount of coffee just for aroma and a little bit of body and flavor and body perception shouldn't color it too much. It may be a very, very, very light amber, but I even doubt that. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
I look forward to trying
It's
that.
a cold brew, cold extract, and Monocacy typically doesn't roast super dark, so that will also help to pull less tannin
Right.
and color.
Now, is that the coffee that you serve here?
Correct. Yeah. Well, it's not the same. What we're putting in that beer is a different variety.
But the same.
The
Same
roasters.
roaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And again, they are hyper local. Of course, the beans are not from. When it says South Mountain, it doesn't mean South Mountain, Bethlehem.
South Bethlehem, yeah.
I think it means Jamaica.
Yeah, something like that.
Right next to those ever popular cannabis farms that are slowly overtaking my precious beer.
Yeah, and you serve coffee. You also have a wonderful cappuccino machine.
Yes.
And
really?
you can make lattes, including soy lattes, which
We
are
can.
delicious.
Yes, and we do.
I saw you have coffee soda now.
Yeah. Oh,
I
it's-
didn't even know that existed. Well, apparently Coke makes it now, which I just saw
Oh,
on Facebook
no.
today. Yes, Coke apparently makes
Oh,
coffee
Coke
soda.
also. That's good for us.
Wait,
Is
haven't
it?
they made it?
Coca-Cola
Haven't
makes
they made it for a long time?
I don't know. I saw
Yeah, I'm pretty
literally
sure,
saw
like
it today
Kona?
on Facebook for the first time ever. I didn't
Kona
even
or
know.
Kona something?
Kona, Coca-Cola.
Kona.
But
What
that's not
else
what you
can you
guys
be
have.
addicted to?
Yeah, exactly.
We have three
They made us
things.
take the cocaine out, so now we're
Yeah.
going to put coffee in.
Yeah, so I grew up in southern New York, and Manhattan Special coffee soda was like a staple in my house. And by my house, I mean my parents' house. My parents are both also from Italy and didn't mind me drinking heavily caffeinated beverages.
Right, you were like,
which was
have
probably
espresso in your bottle. as
Yeah,
a kid,
sure. Yeah, bottle came straight from the tap, man.
Oh my god!
Sourced.
Straight from the.
My mom's
the
from
tap,
Naples. I
in
mean,
quotes.
yeah. Mooey. So
Straight from the Mooey.
different tap. Anyway,
Tap that Mooey love.
enough about me. So we always had Manhattan Special in the house, and maybe I wasn't supposed to drink copious amounts of Manhattan Special, but so Gina, my wife, and I were at the restaurant supply store the other day getting chips or peanuts or whatever from the tap room, and I was like, Manhattan Special? No. Yes. No. Yes. Great. Case. Hands. And Gina was like, case 2. She's from South Jersey, but I taught her what a Knish was and what Manhattan Special soda was. She was like, wow, they have it here. We got 2 cases. And this fellow on a forklift drove by. He's like, if you like that stuff, you probably should buy more than that. And I was like, don't need more convincing than that. And he was like, because we've only had it since we opened. I was like, I told you I don't need more convincing than that. But now I'm buying 4 cases. So I was really excited, and a couple of patrons here have been excited. I think we have a lot of transplants here who, and it is coffee soda. And it is vegan, in fact.
Good to know.
Interesting.
I kind of want to try one of those.
I can make this happen.
I-
I know an omniscient being.
An omniscient being.
He or she may be the Mr. Me.
Mr. B.
The infamous,
proprietor.
the mysterious strongbow.
The omniscient strongbow.
So we may be going a little backwards, but you and Gina sort of have an interesting story leading up to opening the brewery.
Right.
It's not the typical we're home brewers and then we wanted to open a brewery.
No, only I was a home brewer.
Yeah, but you were way much more than a home brewer.
Yeah, no, it was really rad. Gina and I went to college together. We graduated a long time ago, but we met the year before that, and that was 2002. And her and I actually met over beer. It was really rad. Like, I spilled a beer and we met over it. But only after we drank it together.
I didn't
You
know
literally
that.
over it.
I didn't know that happened in real life.
Yeah, no, I don't spill beer typically. And if I did, I would circle it and at least own up to it, unlike this person.
Who did this?
Who did
Oh, no.
That could be like a cool segue. Gina and I were both actors. I went to college. Oh, there's the magical
Yep.
I went to college for filmmaking, for expressive video making, mostly documentary and narrative. Gina went to school for history and theater. We met through mutual friends. We shared a love for beer, specifically at that time, dark beer, which I was like, whoa, you're super rad. Do you like something other than swill or
Right, yeah.
what I drink?
Right.
You like something other than Genesee Cream Ale, which I love. So she was drinking, Yingling Black and Tan and Guinness, which I was so impressed by. And then she loved The Simpsons, Steely Dan, and the Beatles, which I was more impressed by because I've never met a female who knew who Steely Dan was, let alone would sit through an entire Steely Dan song with me.
I have a friend who is named Asia after the Steely Dan album.
Whoa, does she
Yeah.
listen to Asia?
She did when she was younger.
Right on. Does she know who Steely Dan is?
Yes. Yes.
I have a friend named Abba, but we don't talk about her.
oh, my God.
I have a friend named Gina. she's my ex-girlfriend. So we used to go to the local brew pub together, which was really rad. And the guy who introduced us, we lived together with in Weehawken, New Jersey years later, and he actually gave me that Mr. Beer kit that's sitting on top of the column there.
I was debating
Oh, I didn't see that.
socing that because I saw it, and I was like, I don't know if I should put that out in the world.
Yeah, no, that's real life.
All right.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Holy shit, there is a Mr. Beer
Oh,
kit.
yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
I was going to say something about it, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only
Wow.
thing I've ever brewed in my life was a Mr. Beer.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was just as bad as you'd expect.
The first 3 beers, or 4, including a cider I did, were in that, and it was very quick to grow out of it. But, so Gina and I were living together, obviously, and then we got married, and we got to tour the country as Tony and Tina from Tony and Tina's Wedding. That was our life for 8 years. We were both actors in New York City, and we both got to audition for the same show and got cast for the same show. She did more theater, I did more film and television, but 8 years of our life was on the road doing
Yep.
a play.
Oh, cool.
And we were based out of Weehawken at the time, living on a street called Bonn Place. That's where the name for Bonn Place Brewing came from.
Yeah.
And then our lives got a little bit more boring, and then it got exciting again.
And said, let's
And
open
that
a
was
brewery.
yeah. And that was the exciting part.
So,
it was like-
how did you go from being touring actors and living in New York City
oh, I'm tired
to
of this.
moving to the south side of Bethlehem and opening your own brewery?
So it was really rad. We were both working in the service industry because, as we all know, being an actor in New York, even if you're successful, is not very lucrative, and you have to have a day job. So it was really kind of weird to go on tour and be treated like not royalty, but
like legitimate professionals.
yeah, like people.
Yeah.
And then come back to New York and be like, oh,
Nobody cares
I gotta
about
do
you.
extra work. So I was bartending. She was waiting tables, and I got a job at the Pony Bar in New York, and I was just homebrewing. And I remember sitting with Dan McLaughlin that first day during my interview. They had just opened, and they were getting rid of one of the people who opened the bar with opening staff, and they were looking to replace them. If they opened in April, I started in May, kind of thing. And I was sitting with him, and he said, "Why do you want to work here?" I said, "Because I want to open my own brewery one day." And he said, "Well, that's a silly idea. There's no money in owning a brewery, but there is money in a beer bar." And I was like, "Well, why can't you do both?" So one day I'll find out about
Yes.
that. But so I brought in some home brews and some homebrew labels. I was super stoked. Like, this is what I'm doing. I make beer at home. He's like, "Okay, cool. You want to work here?" I was like, "Yes." He's like, "Great. Good enough." So through that, I got to meet some awesome people like Mike Gerhardt up now at, I want to say he's at The Alchemist now. He was at Otter Creek for years. Namely, there was a few really rad people. Phil Markowski from formerly Southampton, now Two Roads, and one of my idols. And then Mark Smida from Chelsea Brewing Company, who actually gave me a shot as an intern. I said, "Hey, I want to be a brewer," and he's like, "It's a terrible idea, but you can come help us clean things." I was like, "Great, good enough." So I would moonlight at the I would work at Chelsea Brewing Company all day and then work at the Pony Bar all night, and that got really awesome after a while, and is responsible for the way I look and act now. I used to be handsome. It's really crazy. So after that, because I now had something to build my resume, I was able to help out at a few other breweries, namely New Jersey, NJ Beer Co. in North Bergen and Cricket Hill. I would help them bottle and things like this, and just constantly where can I work, where can I help out. And two of my friends from high school opened the Newburgh Brewing Company with a third fellow, their other partner, up in Newburgh, New York, where I'm from, or where I grew up, rather. So I begged them, no. And then one day I got a job there and quickly became the assistant brewer, and I was very happy doing that. I was like, I could do this forever. Mm-hmm. This is wonderful. I don't have to own something.
Yeah.
I can just make beer. And it came to the point where enough was enough. Do I want to continue commuting from Weehawken, New Jersey to Newburgh while my wife works in New York City and lives in Weehawken? No. Gina, let's move to Newburgh, and I'll work at Newburgh, and you can work at Newburgh, and blah, 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 and we can live on the Hudson River. And she's like, nope. And I was like, okay, good enough. I was like, how about Milwaukee? She's like, nope, too far. I'm like, well, we really love the Lehigh Valley because
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Well, we had come through here so many times doing Tony and Tina's.
Okay.
And we really, really, really loved it. And it's equal. She's from South Jersey, right outside of Philly. I'm from Southern New York, right outside of New York City. It's perfect.
So it's like, sort of meet in the middle-ish.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
But in Pennsylvania, not Jersey, because it's better.
Pennsylvania.
Right.
Sorry.
I will gladly agree with that.
We don't have jug handles. We can make left turns.
No, the only jug handles we have are on our jugs.
Yeah.
Where they belong.
I have love handles, not jug handles.
So yeah, I really just loved the area, and it reminded me much of what I loved about Milwaukee was the blue collar, nice folks, scenic. I can be out of the city in 5 minutes and be in the country. It was exactly what we were looking for, and we got a little sidetracked for a second, but came right back. And the city of Bethlehem was so helpful, finding a location, giving us the tools we needed to be able to do this. So it was really just a kismet. It was wonderful. It was just what it was supposed to be, and constantly reinforced, that we made the right decision. So I moved in here. We signed our lease April 20th of 2015. I moved into what is now a brewery, but it was a storage building at the time with a shower and a toilet and a lot of cockroaches. I named them all. It was like Joe's. It was Sam's apartment.
Sam's apartment. Wow.
My Subaru was parked right where you guys are. My cot was back there.
Oh, yeah?
And we do have a ghost in the back corner. That's why I burned sage on top of the...
to appease the spirits?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So he and I became quick friends. I would drink Genesee cream ale and eat liverwurst sandwiches in here and then go to work and run, and that was it because I was really poor. And Gina was living with her folks, and that wasn't really working either, so she moved into the garage with me, and that really wasn't working either. So then we moved to the south side of Bethlehem, right by a casino, apparently, and a great coffee roaster. Mulva.
You should name beers after your cockroach friends from those early days. You know what I mean?
So Dead Number 1.
Dead Number...
On Your Back,
Mr.
47. The fruit flies are quickly replacing them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you get those.
Sure.
In any restaurant / brewery / anywhere where there's sugar to be had.
Luckily, they stay in here mostly.
Yeah.
Just all that acetobacter.
Fruit flies are in here. The bar flies are out there.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
How long did you live in the garage?
3 months.
My
3
God, man.
Yeah, it was rad.
I
No windows.
totally believe that. Yeah.
No window. Again, if I'm going to talk about responsibility, why I am the way I am, this is a big part of it. It's that old. You read the stories of Picasso sleeping on. I'm not comparing myself to Picasso.
Whoa.
This is my blue
there.
period, but not because of that. Sleeping on the straw mattress and changing with his roommate. At night. That was my wife. But I worked at a cafe locally, and I was stopping at nothing to get this place going. So luckily, the same landlord that owns this building had another building become available, and he was like, "Hey, you don't have to live in a garage anymore." And Gino's like, "Sign me up." Cool. So I was like, I don't know. It's kind of romantic.
The landlord was cool with you, like you weren't squatting because you were renting the place, but
Right.
living in a place that wasn't like supposed to be a residential. Like there wasn't any issue with
I
that?
did, I don't know that he knew. I mean, he knew that I was staying here. I don't know. It's,
But it's sort of
it's
like
Pennsylvania. It's
plausible
cool.
deniability, and nobody cares.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It had walls.
It's got
it had
walls.
a chef.
It's got plumbing.
It had a
That's
ghost.
the important thing.
Well, so the only things in this building still from the day I signed my lease are the original brick walls behind this tile, the original ceiling, part of the floor, the red steel I-beam, and the framing around the glass windows. Everything else is new. So, like, the plumbing is all torn out and new. I
okay.
demoed the snot out of this place.
Wow.
And there was a lot of snot.
Yeah.
It was a snot
Sounds
pit.
like it. Sounds
It
like
was
it.
kind of like Slimer. I had a ghost. I was
Right.
like,
Was it just you and a sledgehammer, pretty much, or?
Me, the doorman who's here right now, Steven,
Yeah.
and 2 sledgehammers.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was rad.
That had to be kind of fun at times.
It was a lot of fun. You can watch some, if you go on our Instagram early on, there's videos of us throwing hammers.
That's so great.
Oh, it was like,
Nice.
Hold on,
people
I-
would come visit, I'd be like, throw a hammer. Throw a hammer.
I want to talk about your Instagram feed for a little bit because
Let's
it
talk
is
about it.
by far the most entertaining Instagram feed of any craft brewery.
Whoa,
period.
even more than Hoppy Floppy.
Yeah. I feel like you've taken your previous film life and you've just like channeled it into Bonn Place's Instagram feed.
Yeah, that's part of it. So I found success in theater and filmmaking, and by success, I mean, like, I got paid to do things. Way more successful than most actors I know. And I was able to transition. That came on slowly. I used to do these videos where I would just shoot fermentation, like bubbling buckets, and nod. And people are like, "You really like making these little videos?" I'm like, "I love making lots of videos. I'm going to take that to the next level." And then they start becoming more narrative. And actually, Josh, very early on, I was like, "Josh, shoot Ryan and I eating spent grain." He was like, "Okay." And we acted like chickens and we were eating spent grain. And people were like, "This is great." And I'm like, "You're right, it is great." And it's incorporating something that I wish I still did that I don't get to do anymore, which
Yeah.
is eating spent grain.
Yeah, of course.
Which is,
yeah. Which was what you subsisted on for those 3 months that you were living in the.
Well, no, there was no brewing,
No.
so there were no spent
Well,
grains.
no. Here's my problem.
we did homebrew a little bit, but
Yeah.
truly, it was liverwurst,
that's
liverwurst
not-
on bread
Oh,
ends,
okay.
free bread ends from Blue Sky Cafe.
And
my
cockroaches.
God.
And
Nice.
the cockroaches once, but Genesee cream ales always.
But the problem I have with eating the spent grains, though, is they make those into dog treats
Yes.
too. So like you were voluntarily eating the beginnings of dog food.
Yeah, but they also don't they put them on the pretzels at Trogs?
Do
The
they?
big
Yeah,
bar
some
pretzel?
breweries
They
use them
sort
for
of like-
Spent grains
pizza.
are used in a lot of
I don't
things.
know.
I mean, it's
my
like
brain went right to dog
There's not much
treats.
nutritional value left in it because you've
'Cause
pulled
it's all
all
been
of that
sucked
out in
out,
the
yeah.
mash. But
Well, have you seen half the things I eat?
Have
No,
you
that's
seen
true.
me?
I eat styrofoam. There's no traditional,
I was
value in
just
that.
accosted. Can I talk about marijuana on this?
Sure.
I think we may have touched on that
Yeah, we
subject
already-
already.
Well, I may have.
So
Been,
that-
I may have been.
that
I may
seal's
have,
been broken.
I may have been denying eating an edible thing, and because I don't really indulge too often because of my paranoias and paranormal activity, because of who I am, my anxieties. But somebody's like, "I just watched you eat a cicada off a floor with a pit bull," and I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Okay." So I did. It was cool. I mean, it was rad. But yeah, I'm known. I'm known to liverwurst and dog treats don't scare me too much.
whatever
mean-
you got to do to survive.
Future
Yeah.
of food, man.
Right.
Grasshoppers.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how we're gonna. That's how we're gonna
Roaches
beat
will be
hunger.
here.
Yeah, they're gonna be here.
Mad
forever.
Max,
There's
man.
so many of them. There's like 5,000 per one person.
Right.
So
Hey, that's a food
they're
source.
they're easy to breed.
Unfortunately, 5,000 equals one hamburger.
That's true. That's true. They don't go very far.
But,
They're so crunchy, though. The cicada, so crunchy.
little sour cream and onion goes a long way.
Just a pit bull and me.
ranch dust.
Chewy,
Put ranch
chewy.
dust and cheese on anything. It tastes good.
Oh, yeah. Ranch dust beer. Next cask.
Speaking of beer,
Yeah, you're on to...
Should we get some more beer and then talk more?
yeah,
I think
do
we
that.
should. Let's beer.
Let's beer.
Let's beer.
Did you have a did you have a blanket during that period of your living in squalor in a garage?
I think I did, but it was May, so I think I just slept on a cot.
Okay. With your Mooey out and everything.
Mooey was
Rock out with your Mooey out.
fooey. Fooey in with your Mooey
Mama Mooey.
bin. Mama moo. Yeah, no, I had a blanket. I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, I was still living in America.
Yeah, what's it?
It was a Commonwealth,
like,
but
it was,
I had running
you know.
water. It was actually a really like romantic time in my life. You
Oh,
know,
that
like
sounds- yeah.
my wife's living 90 miles away with her parents, sleeping on the floor of her bedroom that she grew up in. Her husband's trying to open a brewery,
sleeping in a cot.
on a cot. Weekends were really exciting
Yeah.
because I would work.
Yeah.
But the rest of the week was really cool. What do you call those visits in prison?
The
Conjugal.
conjugal. There you go.
Conjugal visits
Yeah.
were cool.
Yeah.
I'd go pick her up in our Subaru. We still had one vehicle. Oh no, we had her grandma's '98 Mercury Sable.
Nice.
I sold it to my nephew for $100 American just to cover the registration
I
cost.
think
Right,
you had to
right,
specify
just
American dollars.
Yeah,
the
well,
notary
you know,
fees. Yeah.
exchange rates and all.
Oh, totally.
Dan, hit the button.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
All right, let's do it.
You weren't recording.
Oh, we never stop recording, Sam.
Yeah, we never stop recording. However, in
Does
the
anybody's
time-
guess what actually makes it to air, though?
Yeah. In the time that we did actually stop recording, we had an old friend join us at the table.
Yeah.
Yay.
We've got a new.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
We've already talked about you.
Yeah, we
Oh,
have.
fantastic.
He smells extra crispy.
Extra crispy. What was it?
I
Extra
smell
crispy.
11 herbs and spices.
Did you know that KFC's Twitter follows
I saw
the
that.
5 Spice Girls and 6 people named Herb?
Yep. So
11 herbs and
herbs
like
spices.
Tijuana Brass.
Yes.
Even Herb Albert.
I have them on vinyl.
Oh, sure. Of course.
course you
Whipped
do.
cream dreams or whatever.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's their best. Anyway.
So welcome to the table.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
Yes,
Good,
it's
man.
been a long time since you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Almost, I guess 2.5 years. Something like
How's
that.
Has it
really
been that
Well,
long?
not including the 100th episode.
That's
at
true.
True
Right,
Reading,
that's
yeah,
true, that's
which was
true.
awesome time.
Which is
This
this
is
tablecloth.
this started as the
Oh.
100th episode
Yeah, this is the
tablecloth.
100th
So I'm
episode
sure you've
tablecloth,
signed
yeah.
this too somewhere.
Somewhere.
Well, I've signed it twice then.
There you
That's
go.
all. You can
Totally
keep
allowed
signing
to.
it. He Sam has not stopped writing and coloring since he
Yeah.
sat down, so he's going to decorate the entire.
This is how we
I
keep
need
the
to
children
moving.
occupied
Right.
during the podcast. We just put the markers in front of them so you can draw on the table.
I'll have the hot dog with French fries.
Yeah.
And a
please.
side of mac and cheese.
And a side of
Grilled
cockroaches.
You don't
cheese
even
and
like
a
have the
chocolate
back of the
milk.
placemat to draw on. It's the whole table. You're free to draw on.
I had no idea you were up here.
You
Yeah.
don't follow their Instagram videos.
I don't follow many people's Instagram
By the way,
videos,
that was one of my favorites.
Except for Hoppy Floppy.
The We're Hiring an Assistant Brewer video.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I was like, wait, is this real?
It's real
or was
life.
Josh just there for the video?
Real life.
Josh, they asked me before how I was so lucky to have acquired you, we'll say.
Lucky or
And-
sorry?
Not yet, either. No, I said that I would let you cover that. So I simply I told them that I begged and pleaded and signed a deal with Anheuser-Busch.
That's right.
So good. Okay,
for
good
$1
enough.
billion, right?
Anyway, what are we drinking?
And they recommended you. Yeah, let's talk about the first beer that we're sipping on.
Yeah, it's the first of the 2 identical beers in
Yes,
front of us that
yes.
are not identical at all.
We're doing Nemo, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what is Nemo?
Because we only drink medal winning. That's not Nemo.
Just making sure.
This
sure.
is Nemo.
So this
We
is,
only drink medal winning beers on
this
the
is
show.
the beer. This is apropos, as the fancy people say, because this was the beer you were talking about where
Yes.
Josh came in to brew because your wife was in the family way, and
Right.
had you been here to brew it, you claimed
Would have been a gold.
it would have been a gold.
Sure.
But because you weren't, it was only a bronze.
Yeah. No,
Right.
Okay. So you're okay with that
Makes total
assessment?
sense.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Fair enough. I just wanted to get.
You're not surprised by that.
Just
at all.
wanted to clear the air.
He's heard that before, so I'm glad you said it again. I rudely. This is how bad of a boss I am. If I were a boss, I'll be behind the bar. I'm like, yeah, if I would have brewed it, yeah. Well, you didn't, jackass. You were too busy like catching a baby.
Catching a baby.
Doing unimportant things.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Keep pushing. Wait, Josh, are you guys okay over there? Sam, please tend to your wife. Okay, I have to go for a run first. Yeah. So Ryan and Josh took care of that. That was Nemo is a dark mild, and the reason it's named Nemo is because we thought my son was going to be a girl, and so he remained nameless. He remained nobody for 3 days.
Right.
He was without a name.
Wow.
Because you weren't
Yeah.
prepared for that eventuality.
Correct. And
Wow.
so we have a beer called Opus, which is also named after a French bulldog, also Latin, opus for work, Nemo for nobody. And
Is that what Nemo means?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, captain or otherwise.
Right.
But I also knew a French bulldog
Finding.
named, Finding. Whoa, deep.
That changes that movie completely.
I know. That's what I was
Nobody.
thinking.
Now I'm so sad.
It sounds
I
like
know.
a Nine Inch Nails song.
Finding Nemo by Trent Reznor. Which band will he have with him today? So Josh and Ryan. Ryan is also here, by the way, but he has red hair, so he probably wouldn't be able to be translated.
In the light.
Famously, red people with red hair don't pick up on microphones.
Right. Well, they have no souls, so
Right.
they can't
It's
see
kinda like
themselves in the
vampires and
mirror.
microphones. Vampires with mirrors.
Josh, on the other hand,
Gingers
is
and microphones.
he's of my kin, so he's part of the wolf pack.
Nice.
So Josh and Ryan really did a bang-up job, and they continue to do a bang-up job, and not so much exclusively with brewing. They do an amazing job with that, but dealing with me. So that's awesome.
So that takes a special.
Oh
certain
my
someone.
God Almighty!
Yeah.
What's
Wait,
it like
you
dealing
said
with
awesome
him on a
and not
day-to-day
rad.
basis?
Rad.
It's like hurting a
Right.
giant
There we go.
kitten.
There you are.
Turning a giant kitten.
Angry kitten.
Yeah.
Giant angry
A
kitten.
giant angry kitten.
I'm like a tiger with less muscles,
a tiger.
less
with muscles.
Bengali,
I'm
more
like a tiger, but not scary.
Like an
more
os-
Staten Island.
Like
yeah,
an
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. That sounds about right. I'm really digging these this English trend
This
we're on
is-
right now.
this beer is
so
fucking
good.
amazing.
So
Thank
good, and
you.
it sits at what, like 3.8%.
Correct.
So like it's super like double sessionable, which is nice.
That was the idea. The idea was to get a chewy, full-flavored beer at a low alcohol percentage, and I'm super duper 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 proud not only of Josh and Ryan for knocking it out of the park, but also because the people who come in here continue to drink it, and I was really scared. I was like, nobody's going to drink a 3.8% dark beer.
Yeah.
We put it up on hand pull one day, and it was gone that day,
Nice.
which to have a cask go in a day isn't
I'm
abnormal.
proud
but-
of the people of Bethlehem for that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm proud of Josh.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's all.
I'm proud
If
of
he
me.
wasn't so good.
I am pretty great.
I have to ask though, what was the reaction when you guys found out not only one GABF medal but two?
I was expecting a third, and that's not a lie.
Yeah.
And here's why.
You wanted the
Yeah, I was
trifecta.
gonna
Well,
say
we
trifecta,
submitted
too.
4.
Disappointment was the
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
general vibe.
Again, working with me is
Fucking
not so
Josh.
difficult.
Right.
Working for me.
you, okay.
Josh called me. He's like, dude, we did it. I'm like, did what? He's like, we won medals. I'm like, we did not win a gold.
Yeah.
Wow.
We won nothing.
Second place is the first
Second
loser.
First, yeah. It's first loser. You okay? No, what? So Josh Bushy from Two Rivers, a peer of ours, a colleague of ours, and a very good friend
We
of
love
ours.
Josh Bushy.
6%
well,
Josh.
yeah.
Yeah,
What is he?
6% Josh.
Man, I want to be extra crispy 6%. What the F?
It's early. You'll
Well,
get your nickname.
you'll have a nickname.
Then again, your
Hot
name's,
pepper.
your name's not Josh. Joshes have all the
Yeah,
nicknames
so we
because
need
there's so many
nicknames for all the
Joshes.
Joshes.
Oh, word up.
You're Mr. Strongbow.
That's true.
I am
That's
Mr.
true.
Strongbow,
Yeah, where did you
Mr.
come up
Me, and also Mr. Strongbow.
I still don't know what
You
Mr.
have
Strongbow
multiple
even
names.
means.
But Josh is that Josh is very special because he let
'Cause he's very special.
Well, he let us invade his brewery, and we brewed our 100th episode beer there with him. So
Yes, we did.
and he is very interested in vegetarian food, so he and I bond.
Yeah, no, he's the king. He's among kings of men. He's
That is true.
if
But he speaks very, very highly of you as well. He's the
Well,
reason that I first came here.
I didn't know he was such a liar.
Aw, no.
Josh sits on the throne in
he's
the
like
kingdom
the
of-
nicest
no, he
Josh
is-
ever.
If
and
I
that's
were-
saying a lot because you're a really nice Josh too.
If I were a giant kitten, he's a giant otter.
Oh, that's
Wow.
true.
Yeah,
But he
okay.
would be a kitten too because he loves cats more than anyone.
Yes, and I do not. So maybe I'm the otter, but I didn't know otters were so grumpy. I
No.
digress.
They
can
can
see
be
that.
sometimes.
A beaver?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a big beaver.
Because you could be an angry beaver.
I'm known as a
There
big
you go.
brown beaver. So
Hashtag tangent. You were telling the
Hashtag
story.
Mooey.
hashtag Josh Bushy. Hashtag 6%. Hashtag extra crispy. Josh Bushy. Josh Bushy. Josh Bushy. Bushy.
when we
Mama Mooey,
heard
Mama
about
Mooey.
the
What was I saying before?
when we heard about the medals.
The medals.
Okay, so Josh either texted me or called me. I was working. It was a Saturday, and he said, "This is why he's so great."
That's why we called him.
blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. This way, Sam. So Josh was like, "Hey, man, they're doing a live feed. Are you watching?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Tell me if I win something." Phone rings. Dude, you won bronze. I was like, "Rad." Fuck bronze. I was like, "Rad, cool." So, and then a few minutes later, he's like, texted me. He's like, "Anna Silver, you guys are killing it." And I was like, "Okay." So I went down to Keystone with a bottle of bourbon. And I was like, right, because Ryan, my assistant brewer, or my coworker, Bonn's assistant brewer, works at Keystone Homebrew down the street. I ran down. I was like, "We just won a medal, and then we just won another one, and we're gonna win a third for another beer we submitted." Which I really was convinced it's a Merci Imperial Black Saison. I thought it was gonna win for pumpkin beer, and we stopped at 2, which was still cool. And then Josh and I actually a few minutes.
But Josh Bushy has a gold. Just saying.
Oh,
in a very enviable category.
Just saying,
Just saying.
wait, what's there? Oh, it's a saison.
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 Special, yeah, but not an English style. So, just saying, the Kingdom of Easton, where the Wallonians live, is only separated by a body of water and some land tract from the Kingdom of Bethlehem, where the English live.
And gold medals.
And they have been feuding for 1,000 years.
That was savage.
But I'm glad you brought up Merci.
Silver and bronze makes not a gold.
No, not a gold.
No.
It makes 2.5.
A 2.5-er.
Yeah.
But
Platinum.
I was lucky enough to have Merci last year,
Yeah.
which is your Thanksgiving beer.
Correct.
It's not pumpkin though. Don't you put squash in it?
Butternut squash.
Butternut
yeah.
squash.
Which is
local
what?
maple syrup.
Yeah. Yep.
Is
Yes.
that it? You don't want to say anything else?
And malt. And hops.
And water. There's
Hops
water in
rule.
there.
And it's
No,
an
it's
Imperial Black
It's
Saison.
a Imperial Black Saison. This year it's clocking in at just under 11%.
Holy shice balls!
Yeah.
I'm in.
Last year was, I think, just under 10 or at 10%. Imperial Black Saison, a little lighter in color this year, still a very deep brown, all sorts of pumpkin.
So you're not
pop-
going pale this year to fool everyone?
Not here. That's a different brewery. Tony. So we did it again with this year. Actually, last year was not local maple syrup. This year was 5 gallons of local maple syrup, as local as possible. Very local butternut squash from a farm nearby that I'm forgetting the name of. And then pumpkin pie spices, but we do a little twist on it. There's a little bit more heavy on the anise. This year we upped it from 1 cinnamon stick to 4 cinnamon sticks.
Nice. Wow.
5 cinnamon sticks. It's got to be
Living
an
on the edge.
prime numbers only.
400% more cinnamon.
Correct. Yep. So that one's in that tank right there. It's in Hayduke Lives, and that'll be ready right before Thanksgiving. It's gonna have to sit for a little while, cool off a little bit. But
That sounds intriguing.
yeah, that's a cool beer. I can get you a taste of that out of the tank. That's
That,
really
would
cool.
that would be awesome.
So when will it be on tap?
I'm
when can
thinking
people come and
probably
have it?
the week prior to Thanksgiving. That's
Awesome.
that's certainly safe to say.
You should release it like the Wednesday before. That's such a fun going out night.
that's a very busy night.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I would drive here for that beer.
Do you want anything else to talk to Josh about before he has to get back to bartending,
Oh, you're
specifically with the beer you're drinking, because he did brew it.
Oh, I figured you were hanging out the whole rest of the night.
No,
I think he's got work
gotta
to
get
do.
back
He has
into
to actually
work.
work.
We're
Yeah.
better than work.
Yeah. So
Last time we recorded with Josh, we killed like 12 growlers,
Growlers,
right?
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
That was
Wasn't one of
Did
those
pretty
like
good.
a
pretty epic.
1.3% beer?
there was
That
there
was the
a-
tired
Tired
hands.
Hands.
Yep.
I still don't
Tough,
understand that
tough
one.
leather.
Yeah.
yeah.
Still don't get it.
Red leather, yellow leather.
So is this the only beer you've ever brewed that's gone to GABF and won? Like one, either
yeah.
or both of those things?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's got to be pretty exciting.
So
This was the first beer you ever brewed that went to GABF.
yeah.
And it
Period.
won.
Oh,
And
wow.
it
I've
won.
got a really good track record right now.
yeah, you're
Quit
one
while
for
you're
one.
ahead.
Yeah, you're one for
So
one.
I
hired.
quit.
You're
I
batting
quit.
1,000. You're done.
Drop the mic. I'm done.
Well, I do have a question that I wanted to ask Sam, but I think it'll be interesting with both of you here. There's sort of been we always talk about the Philly beer scene and how lucky we are to live in this area
Damn
because
right.
the Philly beer scene is so freaking amazing. But I feel like Lehigh Valley is really growing with all these new breweries and restaurants that really focus on craft beer. And what did the two of you think of the current state of the Lehigh Valley craft beer scene?
I think it's great. It's really.
I know he's going to say it's rad, so.
Yeah. Well, it is rad.
It's really neat.
really neat. It's growing exponentially, and I think there's a lot of great people that are coming in and thankfully making quality beer, or at least getting there. And so that's the big thing is you want a community of brewers that are actually making quality beer, and I think there's a good backbone of breweries that have already established themselves well, and so hopefully they can learn. New breweries coming in can learn and kind of gain insight from them. But yeah, overall, it's been really, really neat.
Super neat.
Super neat.
It's the bee's knees.
It's the bee's knees.
Boss.
I feel like there's like Pennsylvania is such a great beer state in general.
Yeah.
That like there's just like all these little like there's always a new pocket of awesome like breweries and beer scenes like popping up. Like Phoenixville has recently been like exploding.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a few that have
with
popped up there.
breweries, you know, a few
Staple
years
12 and Root Down.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And more coming as
and like
well.
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
few years ago, like I feel like Harrisburg, like 5-ish years ago, or whatever, really started. I mean, Appalachian's been there for a while, but
Yeah.
And like,
Pittsburgh
it's really
had that
cool.
big
Pittsburgh,
explosion.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
A
like
little
these
bit more
little-
classic.
these little
And I feel like Lehigh Valley is now a place that people are like, oh, we're going to head up there and go to a bunch of breweries
And a
because
casino.
and vegan treats. I feel like people don't just go to one brewery anymore.
No.
It's
Yeah,
we're going to
it's
go
a
and
day.
we're
Why
going to
would
hit
you?
It's a whole day.
a shit ton of breweries.
Yeah, like I've got a trip coming up with a friend. We're going to Trogs, and like I want to swing by and stop at like Snitz Creek and stop off at a bunch of other ones on the way back. Like you make a day out of it. And
That's
you're
right.
right, Lehigh Valley's cool. I had a question for you, Josh, about the beer.
Yes.
Do you, considering this is now your first submission and win at GABF, do you consider like English styles to be your wheelhouse as a brewer, or like what do you prefer to brew?
And does Sam let you take the medal home? Will Sam, because you only got it today, will Sam let you take the
we're
medal
doing
home?
every
and
other
sleep with
weekend,
it?
we decided?
I think I had
There's
suggested
custody
4
arrangements?
months, but I think it's going to be every other weekend.
They already have a custody plan.
If it survives a weekend with me.
Go ahead. You can answer Dan's question now.
Do I consider English beers my wheelhouse? Not historically, no.
Okay.
I think I've always brewed more saisons and farmhouse ales, at least in my home brewing.
Right.
I love English beers. I like traditionally styled beers, whether it be English or German or Franconian.
Do you
but-
think your experience at the malt house sort of guides your preference and styles to drink and or brew? Because you perhaps have this appreciation for the malt side of it? Of course, you guys were growing
Definitely.
hops too, so.
gained a better appreciation for the raw materials side and the ingredients and what it went into making malt for sure. But I don't know if it necessarily drove my preference of style for brewing. I think I had that set in stone pretty much from years of home brewing prior.
Do you
But-
think you'll brew saisons here? Have you brewed a saison since
did.
you've gotten here?
Yeah, we
Two or
we have
three.
a grisette on that right now that we brewed with using Deer Creek malt and some local hops, and we've brewed After the Fox, and what was the other one?
Well, the collaboration, which I don't think you were actually here for, but that was mostly Deer Creek malt. That's the blackberry tart, which is all
Right.
local ingredients as well.
Yeah, with Hidden River.
The hops actually on that were West Coast hops, but the blackberries and most of the malt in that were Deer Creek. Uncle Mike was a Pilsner using all your malt, again, West Coast hops, but that wasn't really so much a farmhouse style, but it was local malt.
Yeah.
We've done quite a few. The pear sour we did was local. The wild apple tart was local. We're doing a 100% Pennsylvania pale ale coming up
Yes.
With,
with
Adam.
Sunny Bray. Yeah,
Hops rule.
malt. Also rules.
Also is cool.
No, hops rules,
Hops rule.
malt jewels.
Well,
Malt
Adam,
drools
Adam
when-
drools.
Literally.
Malt drools when conversions go incorrectly. And more
my.
weeps.
Weeping malt.
The thing I love about Josh,
Just the one thing.
one of the things I love about Josh, no, the one thing,
The only thing
is how precise and how he brings a method with him. He's like, "Where's your brew logs?" I'm like, "You're funny. I
you
like
me to
you.
write things down.
Where'd you get straight teeth from?" No, yeah, he really brings that with him. So I'm excited to delve more into the farmhouse, a controlled environment for these beers. Where we may consult a little bit more on ingredients and also on methods. So with mashing specifically, step mashes and things like this, we might experiment a bit more. I think we've been pretty successful so far, but again, it's just another conduit or avenue for me to explore by having another mind in here who appreciates similar styles to me. So I think we're gonna see more of that coming out of this place, which I'm really excited about. Recently, it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is what it was called. It's like I look at your list and I see ordinary bitters and dark milds, and then I see imperial black saisons. What's going on? And I'm like, well, what's going on with you? Do you
I could ask you the same thing.
That's my rebuttal for anything, because I don't know how to answer any question. You'll notice.
I default to deflection.
When did you open a brewery? When did you open a brewery? Why did you live here and eat cockroaches?
Why did you live here and eat cockroaches?
Well, you did that too.
I did. I'm the ghost.
I thought
You're the ghost.
I knew I missed you.
I'm not actually here. I haven't been here the whole time.
Do we have to say goodbye to Josh?
I think we should
I think
probably
Josh
say goodbye,
needs to
Josh,
get
go
back.
get back to work.
Signing
Thank you.
off.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming back up to the table, man.
Yeah, it was good seeing you guys again.
too.
Yeah,
You too.
Yeah.
Go
Until we meet again.
give the people beer.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Give the people what they want. To answer your question from before about the Lehigh Valley, no, I've definitely seen what I think is cool about that. I did want to touch on that. I've seen a little less beer from Northeast. Like, I've seen less people leaving, with
Yeah.
Soul opening up, Two Rivers just absolutely killing it, and Josh Bushy being a gold medal winning brewer. And just a lot of the breweries in the area keeping up to the trends and giving the people what they want. I have seen a lot more people. They may bring beer from outside and be like, here, let's share this, but they're not like, I only go to Massachusetts for beer.
Well, yeah.
So we're drinking another beer.
Yeah, so we
Cool.
alluded to this one
From another
earlier.
really, 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 really rad brewery.
Yeah.
We love those guys.
How could you not?
Kevin and Doug are amazing.
How could you not? And another Josh.
And another
that's right,
Josh.
yeah.
That's right.
What do you call that, Josh?
Did we come up with a name for that,
I
Josh?
don't really remember.
That
Was he
Josh.
actually on the show?
He was not, but
No.
I think we came up with a
I think
name.
we
for
I
it.
think we
did.
did too. I don't remember.
That Josh.
Forgotten Josh.
Forgotten Josh.
Hidden Josh.
Hidden Josh.
Hidden Josh. Oh my god.
Just saying.
Perfect. It's
Wow.
too perfect.
Wow.
So yeah, those dudes. I got linked up with them through Extra Crispy.
yes.
So he obviously knows a lot of really great brewers and breweries. Being a former maltster, I don't know that you're ever. It's kind of like an Eagle Scout.
Yeah. You're
Once
just
a
always,
maltster, always a maltster.
Malt drool. He's a drooler. He's a
Yeah.
drooler.
He's a drooler. Yes.
He's
a proud drooler.
Once a drooler, always a
Exactly.
jeweler. Crown jeweler. Josh told me, yeah, you should work with these guys. And I was like, that'd be great. So he introduced me to those guys. And they were like, yeah, that'd be great. So it was great. And they came up here one day, and we decided we were going to use... We didn't even... I told them, I was like, hey, you know that malt bill we came up with? It's going to be all Deer Creek. Is that cool? And they're like, of course. I'm like, great. I already bought the malt. So we brewed together, and then they let us handle the souring of the wort and the conditioning of the wort. And the beer you're drinking there, the tart blackberry tart, was never intended to be this crazy over-the-top sour. It's supposed to be what it is. It's a Charms lollipop. It's delightfully tart. It's got a really jammy blackberry sort of upfront thing. As it warms, it definitely gets more funky because it is conditioned with Brettanomyces in the foeder, and it has a certain oakiness, almost young wine quality to it. All very intentional. And Kevin and Josh came up for that brew day, and that was just... It was awesome. We're planning on brewing with them November 8th. I don't want to give away too much on that because I don't know that's true. But if I have a calendar in my mind, which you guys
say
know,
too much 'cause I might
my
be lying.
calendar is in here.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to be recording a podcast soon. I'm like, rad.
Yeah. That's
When?
happening.
Like in 5 minutes. Oh, cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot.
Hey, did I ever tell you about that time I ate that weed cookie? It was the only time.
Because that was 5 minutes ago.
That was so cool. Weed. So Josh and Kevin came up, and they brought the blackberries. It was super collaborative in that obviously brewed the beer together, but got to come up with a recipe together. And we both decided we wanted to do a sour, and I had the foeder capacity, and had access to the local malt. So whenever we do a farmhouse ale, I do try to use local malt, local hops if possible. So
Very cool.
This is
Yeah.
awesome. I really, really dig
It's
this. And this
delicious.
is a very Hidden River kind of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Culinary
definitely
beer.
awesome. Yeah.
And I can
interesting.
just imagine you and Kevin together for the day.
Oh, I can too. I can imagine it every day. Man, what a happy, awesome dude. And he might disagree with that.
He's
but-
even happier and more awesome when he drinks a lot,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I never got to do that with him. But again, we're supposed to brew there. We're planning on doing an IPA. And so I don't know if your listeners know this, if you know this, but we've never done one here. We've never done.
Really?
We've done a ton of hoppy beer.
I find that very interesting as a craft brewery that you have not done an IPA yet.
Yeah. We released Bunny
I
Farm.
find it interesting as a craft brewery that's still in business.
Right.
That
Yeah.
you have not done that.
Well, when we the Philadelphia Inquirer wrote a piece, and it was called "The Tyranny of IPAs," and on the cover of this piece was a photo of me wearing a Deer Creek malt shirt in front of my brewery,
I feel like I remember seeing that actually.
And
Now you mentioned it.
it said, "Don't ask him for the India Pale Ale."
Yeah.
And my former boss called me up, Paul Haleko, and he was like, "Yeah, good luck with this." But we've never been known for them. What people who know the secret know is that you could drink Scooch right now, and it's for all intents and purposes, a New England IPA. Mm-hmm. I have my reasons why I don't call it that.
Right.
Mostly because I feel like it's deceiving. What I love about the moniker IPA, I'm a customer, I'm a consumer, and I see this letter I, indicating that it's going to be hoppy. Wow, easy. Okay, I want that one.
Mm-hmm.
As a proprietor and as somebody serving, this is easy. There's communication without even having to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is almost deceiving on the back end. I'm like, but wait, you will like this. Like, I don't really like pale ales. I'm like, you do, you just don't realize it.
Yeah.
India Pale Ales are something completely different that nobody respects anymore because there's integrity in that name, and it's a style. It's a true style of English beer that's usually malt balanced. And and they're like, I don't want to hear any more of this. Please just shut up. And I'm like, okay, good enough.
Here,
Drink this. And then they're like, can I have another IPA? I'm like, sure, here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
But the only beer we ever released here as an IPA was Bunny Farm. Initially, we released as a double IPA. It was 8.4%, more hops than a Bunny Farm, and at that point, it really was. But looking back on it, it's barely hopped at all compared to some of our other beers.
That one took a second.
Yeah, same here.
It did take a second too.
Bunny Ranch was really rad too. So Bunny Farm came out, and I quickly was like, this is like more like a double ESB or an Imperial ESB. So I removed IPA, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not deceiving my crowd by calling things IPA just because it's easy. I need to challenge people. I need them to get out of their comfort zone. I need them to realize there's integrity in the name. So what's happened is people who know us know that, and they can come in here and have Skippy the Bush Kangarooga, Butt Rock, Der Haza, Uncle Cray Cray, Scooch, Bunny Farm, Bunny Ranch, and they're going to be happy. Pigtail Pale Ale. They know it's going to be hoppy because they know our and they stand up. They're right there with all the other New England hoppy beers. They're hazy, they're hoppy. We'll actually have a Scooch after this. Scooch is what you're drinking, just with all sorts of hot peppers.
All sorts of yumminess in it.
Yeah.
So
that is really good. I drank some of Steph's beer.
Yeah,
It's very good.
But we didn't talk about that one yet.
Get out of here.
So,
We'll talk about that one soon.
Let's talk about that one.
So we do
soon.
make them. It's just that we don't call them that, and it's really sort of played into our little English pub style thing.
Have you ever met Ethan Buckman from Stickman?
No, I've heard a ton about him, though.
Well, he's done collabs with Hidden River, too,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
guys have him in
Yeah,
common.
and I feel like you guys could have some really interesting conversations about
Yeah.
IPA and what
Yes.
that means to consumers, because we've had him on the show, and
His episode is our most downloaded episode ever.
that's kind of like what we talked about.
Ethan or Ian?
Ethan.
Here's to you, Ethan.
Here's to you. Oh, we have sound effects. We'll put it in post.
Yeah, right.
Wait, you didn't like mine?
I was going to say, I thought that was pretty good.
that was the glory hole.
It's like the dude from Police Academy.
He's a
Yeah.
horrible. Hey, should we have fun and play a game for a
I
moment?
think we probably should. I was looking for something, but
Is that
yeah,
what
we
we're
should
doing?
we should do that.
Are we playing Cards Against Humanity?
We could.
No, it's okay.
I played a game at a bar in Philly that was
Heyo.
it was like Cards Against Humanity, but with memes. It was really weird.
Memes Against Humanity.
Yeah, I've
Which
heard
is
it.
just a meme,
No, it was
so-
called "What Do You Meme," and it was kind of weird. But then again, it's meant for like a group of people, and it was just me and my
Millennials.
friend
I
playing.
was going to say
Yeah,
it's
right.
meant for
Fucking
millennials.
millennials. Fucking millennials.
35-year-olds.
Like
Hit the damn button
Cards
already.
Against Humanity, but with knives.
Well, Wayne, what do we have going on now?
Cheers, Internet, and welcome once again to everyone's favorite podcast segment, Happy Fun Time Games, a podcast trivia segment that brings you the news you didn't know you needed to know.
Oh, does that mean what I think it means?
This just in.
Oh no.
A Massachusetts man was charged with selling malt/brewed beverages without a license following an investigation by State Police Bureau of Liquor Control Enforcement. Michael Miller, 44, of Waltham, Massachusetts, was allegedly advertising his wares on a website called mybeerseller.com,
God damn it.
which itself claims to be
Fuck! Please tell me we're not playing
the
this game.
premier portal for the selling and buying of collectible beer bottles, cans, signs, and other memorabilia. Officers responded to the ad and arranged to purchase $700 worth
Wait, did they arrest him?
of specialty craft beer allegedly
So we
offered
can
by
no longer
Miller.
play this game.
The officers met Miller at the Bandit truck stop on the 2200 block of Golden
Is this
Key
real?
Road
This sounds so much like a prostitution sting.
in Weisenberg Township, Lehigh County,
Hey!
and purchased 57
Wait.
bottles containing 1,286 ounces of beer from him. Miller was subsequently charged.
Damn it, Miller! Stop doing that. That's one of my bargains.
So we can't play this game anymore since he was arrested.
The website's still up and running
Fuck. I hate
as of this
game.
recording. So we are, of course, playing
Sam, you gotta listen to the directions.
The Beer Cellar. This is a game in which I will give you a listing on mybeercellar.com, which is a place where douchey people sell douchey beer to other douchey people for douchey prices.
What are you trying to say?
And, which is kind of illegal, but not really.
Apparently, because he got arrested.
Yeah, this is true. Well, he was selling a lot. And you have to guess how much that beer is being sold for.
Fuck.
The closest, without going over, as per Price is Right rules, gets the point.
Don't you normally not say
And
prices,
wins
right?
that beer
Yeah, but
for that price.
Yeah, and wins that beer, yes, only if you pay that price. I've said so many things so far that I'm not...
Yeah.
the lice is spice. So, we are going to begin in time-honored tradition to my left with Steph.
Oh shit! I sat in the wrong seat.
Our first offering from mybeercellar.com is Lagunitas 2015 High Westified Coffee Stout Batch Number 1. A 12.2% rye barrel-aged imperial coffee stout was the first Lagunitas barrel-aged beer to be bottled. Brewed with coffee from Petaluma
Wait, what
Coffee.
year is it?
2015. Petaluma Coffee and tea, and aged in High West distillery barrels. 2 22-ounce bottles of the first batch of Lagunitas High Westified Coffee Stout can be had for how
When was
much?
this posted? Before or after they were completely owned by Heineken?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
that's a good
That is
strategy.
a
We can-
legit question. I'm
we
sorry.
can ask questions like that.
You can ask
Well,
questions
but
like
he
that.
doesn't know the
Yeah, he may
answer.
not know.
When were you posted after they were owned by Heineken?
Good one.
Okay, so if there's one thing I've learned from this game, I always over-guess. So I'm going to say $69.
Steph is saying $69. Sam, what do you think?
$69.
You can't say the same thing.
You can't say the same thing.
Six-
Wait, for the pair?
for 2 22-ounce bottles.
Son of a gun. I was going to say 39 for one. So let's go 78 American dollars for the pair, Alex.
78 American dollars for the pair, Alex, and finally Dan.
Wait, that's the wrong game show, isn't it?
It's definitely
It
the
works.
wrong game
The
show.
price is wrong.
Bob.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop!
Remember to spay and neuter your pets.
69.78.
Yeah.
$1.
$1. Dan is saying $1. The closest without going over is Dan at $1.
Damn it! I always over-guess.
The asking price is 30 American
Oh,
dollars.
that still went over.
It's not
Yes,
bad.
30 American dollars.
And he got arrested for that.
No, that was a different guy.
No, the guy that...
That was a different guy, and he's dead now.
No,
Moving
he's-
on
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
to our next item up for bid. And this is 1946 Ballantine Burton Ale. Considered the holy grail of American beer, according to the cellar. The 1946 Ballantine Burton Ale is a rare find indeed. The beer was made to age as it sat in 18 years in oak barrels before being bottled. One unopened 12-ounce bottle from the Ballantine Brewery, 1946 ale, bottled in 1964, can be had for how much? Your guess
you're
first now.
first.
Me.
Yeah, you're
39 American dollars.
39 American dollars, says Sam. Dan, what do you think?
So it's what was it was bottled in 64, but what's the year of the?
So it was brewed in 1946, aged for 18 years.
Oh,
And then bottled.
Wait, what kind of beer was it?
It is actually, I'm not sure.
American.
It's a barrel-aged ale.
Let's go with
I've never known.
This is one 12-ounce bottle.
I'm going to say
maybe
150.
that's why.
$150.
Dan
Oh, I
is
think
saying
this is July.
$150. Steph, who's not paying attention.
$150. I'm saying $1.
Steph is saying $1. The closest, without going over, but only just barely, is Sam, because the actual
Damn it.
asking price was $148.
You have got to be fucking
You were
kidding me.
So
Come on.
so close.
You come on,
$140.
Eileen.
Get out of here.
What do you call a woman with a limp?
Limpy.
Eileen.
Oh,
Moving on to our next item up for bid.
mine.
And Dan is going to guess first on this one. This is Samuel Adams Millennium Ale. Invest in a brew that Jim Cook once claimed would be drinkable for 1,000 years.
What?
This
Clearly an IPA.
21%
Gotcha.
21% ABV American Strong Ale released in 1999.
Is this the one he bathed in?
A 750 milliliter bottle.
It's a legit
Specifically-
question.
I don't know. Specifically, bottle number 2,911 out of 3,000, hand signed by Jim Cook,
Ooh,
with
signed.
a wooden display case and a cloth bag, can be had for the price of how much? Please answer the question.
It's signed and it has a display thing,
And he bathed in it.
And a bag,
bathed in
and
it.
he may or may not have bathed
and
in it.
he washed his balls with it.
Balls.
Those are balls.
I'm gonna go with. I mean, if it's ball beer,
Oh, we're speculating here.
It's Mooey beer.
This is pure speculation. The seller cannot verify these claims.
I'm gonna say 250.
Dan is saying 250.
That's way too high.
Steph, what do you think?
I don't know. It's got a bag. Steph.
113.
It's got a bag.
113. A bag and a
wood.
box.
Bag.
A bag
It's
and
got a
wood.
bag and
It's
wood.
got a bag and wood bottle number 2911.
Oh shit, bag and wood.
Yes.
179 American dollars.
179
I
American
feel like I
dollars.
went way over.
The closest, without going over, but still very far away, was Dan.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Wait, how? What was
This
it?
is
The
why I
asking
hate
price
this game.
is $800.
You gotta be. Wow. No.
$800.
He is wow, isn't he?
All right, kids, we're not done yet.
I wonder if it tastes like his balls.
Because now we are entering the totally, actually, legitimately legal rapid fire bonus round.
Legitimately legal.
Yes, this is a new addition to the game. The following items are not and do not contain any actual beer and are unquestionably legal to buy and sell on the internet. So this is a quick fire round. You're going to give me a guess, and I'm going to tell the next person whether the actual price is higher or lower.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
it's like
Somebody
the card
gets it
shark
right.
Yeah.
game. I love that
Yes.
game.
So we're going to start with Steph. A 2014 Bourbon County Barrel Stave bottle opener.
A bottle opener?
Brand new, unopened, very rare Bourbon County bottle
Very
opener.
rare?
Made from the barrel staves
Oh.
that held
Oh, wow.
2014 Bourbon County Stout. Each
That's-
is numbered and only 500 were ever made. How much?
$39.
That's
$39. Higher.
Higher.
No, it is higher. Give me a number.
Higher.
Give me a number that's higher than 39.
$79.
$79. Dan, it's higher than that.
100.
100. You are absolutely correct, and you get the point. It is $100.
Wow.
Dollars.
You got it right on?
All right.
That's how it works. You
We
get
keep
it
going till
exactly
someone gets
right.
it?
Do I get the
Yes.
$500 bonus like on the Slices Right?
No, you don't. Moving on, and Sam, you're going to guess first on this one. This is an applied taper top 1800s green beer bottle. A beautiful deep green bottle with an applied taper top, indicating a date of around 1840 to 1870. No cracks or chips, but a few small surface scratches.
Civil War area. Area.
It's
This
in the
country.
Civil War area.
$28
From that era.
American.
$28. Dan, is higher than that.
75.
75. Steph, it's higher than that.
$100.
It's lower than that, Sam.
$87.
It's lower than that, Dan.
80.
You are absolutely correct
Fuck,
again.
I get it right.
$80.
Fuck.
Dan got it.
I suck at this.
Hashtag Dan got it. Moving on to our final item of the game. And this is Goosen Creek, The Secret of Lambic Beer by Jeff Vanderstein. A rare English language translation of a richly illustrated book detailing the intricacies, history, and brewers of these styles by Belgian brewer, author, and expert Jeff Vanderstein of Brouwerij de Glazen Turin, a
Good job, good
seminal tome on lambic beer. How much? It's a book, in case you didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that. $30.
It's higher than that, Steph.
$100.
It's higher than that.
Amazon.com, $149.
It's higher than that.
Shit on me.
200?
It's higher than that.
What?
$229.
Higher than that.
Is it on Papyrus?
It's not on Papyrus.
$400.
It's higher than that.
It's written on the back of the Declaration of Independence. What did you say, 200?
I said 400.
You said 400. 1,000.
Lower than that.
Okay, good.
$750.
Lower than that.
$647.
Lower than that.
500.
Higher than that.
$549.
Higher than that.
$578.
Lower than that.
550?
You are correct. Dan's gotten every one of the bonus questions correct. Steph hates this game.
Do you think?
I like this game.
No, there's only one game I hate more than this.
The anagrams?
The anagram game.
love the
Oh, I love anagrams.
Fuck
and
you all.
palindromes.
Next time we're back here, we got to do
palindromes.
anagrams.
Palindromes are my favorite.
Race car.
Palindromes are my
Race car.
favorite.
Oh, in case you were wondering, that book is available new on Amazon for $5.99.99.
No one cares.
$5.99.99.
$5.99.
So $600.
So let's just say Dan's the winner. The rest of us suck. Goodbye.
Dan actually has 5 points. Sam has 1. Steph has none.
Oh,
She's a party pooper.
Because I hate
Bum,
this
bum,
game.
ba-dum. Yep.
You have to add that to that sound clip. That's the best Chewy I've ever heard. I should have worn my Chewy onesie tonight.
Can we boomerang you in the onesie?
You can boomerang
Wow.
me in the onesie.
I forgot about that.
I'll let you boomerang me in the onesie.
There it is.
Oh, thanks for that.
There it is.
No problem.
This is, of course, the part of the podcast where we shout out to our most generous patrons on Patreon. Our loving and adoring friends like Wolfgang Von Colt, Victoria Miles, Ron McDonald, Oakbrook Brewing Company, Marilyn Engelman, Josh Price, Joe Mansell, Jen McDonald, and Eric Dixon. To find out how you can be part of the Cool Kids Club, go to patreon.com/beerbusters. Dan, let's pay our tab.
We need to pay the tab.
Say, Bonn, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you in part by our friends over at Secret Hopper, an innovative new mystery shopper service for breweries. It's an idea that was created out of the love of two things, beer and the experience of sharing it. Breweries are attempting to differentiate themselves in an increasingly crowded market, and Secret Hopper can help you improve your customer experience. You can see their brewery from the other side of the bar by visiting secrethopper.com/beerbusters. Sign up to get secret hopped when you can find areas to improve, new areas of opportunity, monitor changes in your customer habits, and learn to grow from it. That's secrethopper.com/beerbusters to get started today.
If there's two things in life that go well together, we certainly know music and beer pair well. That's why I want to thank Vinyl Me Please for helping to sponsor today's episode of Beer Busters. Vinyl Me Please is a Record of the Month club. It's the best damn record club you're going to find. Every month, Vinyl Me Please features one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection and sends it to thousands of members worldwide. Each record is pressed exclusively for VMP members with features you can't get anywhere else, like bonus tracks, special inserts, colored variants, album-inspired art, and so much more, and a cocktail recipe. And when they say special edition, they are not messing around. They work closely with both the label and the artist to come up with something that you actually can't find anywhere else. Case in point, my marble edition of Weezer's Pinkerton that I got from them last year. They've got a flexible membership that is easy and works for you. There's no contract, no strings, no guilt trips. You can cancel anytime, no hidden fees, and it's top-shelf customer service to make sure you get the answers and help you need as soon as humanly possible. If you want to join Vinyl Me Please, you can head over to joinvmp.com/beerbusters. Again, that is joinvmp.com/beerbusters to get your vinyl on.
No.
Your beers.
No. Know your beers.
Hey, Steph, what do we got?
So with Thanksgiving just around the corner, it's time for me to do my favorite annual edition of Know Your Beers.
Stuffing.
Because you got to think about what you're bringing to the table. And that means the perfect Thanksgiving beers.
My appetite.
So here is my updated list of delicious beers that will pair nicely with each course of your Thanksgiving dinner. As guests arrive, they need a beer while you're still cooking dinner. So I would consider something light to get them started, like a Goza or, of course, a Pilsner. Everyone knows that I love a good Pilsner. So I would recommend trying something tart and refreshing, like Westbrook Brewing Goza, or something clean and tasty, like Firestone Walker's Pivo Pils. Or if you can get your hands on some of that South County Pils, go for it. To pair with early snacks like roasted and salted nuts or cheese, try a nice clean malty Märzen like the Märzen from Gunpowder Falls Brewing, or a refreshing Belgian wit like Allagash White. You can find that pretty much anywhere. Want something a little hoppier? Try out the new offering from Harpoon, their Hoppy Amber Ale, Flannel Friday.
I had that last night.
Delicious.
It was really good.
You
It
can't go
wasn't
wrong with a
Friday.
Harpoon.
It wasn't, you're right, but I had
Every
it.
day is Friday when you're drinking Flannel
Friday.
Friday. A style that pairs nicely with strong cheeses and salty snacks is a rye beer with its malty base and its spicy rye notes. So I recommend Founders Red's Rye IPA or Kindride IPA from Otter Creek Brewing. For stinky cheeses, try Belgian dark strong ales with that dark candy sugar and dark fruit notes. And you can't go wrong with Raison d'Etre or, of course, Trogue's Mad Elf.
Yeah.
Which they're coming out with a Mad Elf Grand Cru this year. Did you see
Oh,
this?
I did not.
I am so fucking excited.
All right, if it's there when I go to Trogues, I will get some. and bring it
Holy
back.
shit, I
Yeah.
need this in my life. For a beer that complements salads, something lighter with like apples and pears
You
or
don't win
cranberries.
friends with salad.
Yes, you do. Salads are amazing. Try a Belgian-style Golden Strong with those fruity esters and spicy yeast characteristics. Like,
I'm
of
sorry.
course,
You've given me the food my food eats.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, right, Lisa. Some magical animal.
try Duvel, of course, or Russian River's Damnation, or La Chute, or a great German Hefeweizen also pairs nicely with salads, which are delicious.
What pairs with gazpacho?
For heavier dishes, you're throwing me off now, like bread stuffing or garlic mashed potatoes or sweet potato casserole, the whole reason we're at the table, try a nice earthy multi-quad. One of my favorites, of course, is Sticky Monkey from Firestone Walker, or Weyerbacher's Quad, from the gold side of Lehigh Valley. And for more spicy herbal dishes, try a pale ale, like perhaps Hill Farmstead's Edward. Now, what's the perfect beer to pair with your turkey or tofurkey? Try a nice nutty brown ale. Rogue's Hazelnut Brown Ale is a brown nectar, would pair nicely. Or try Dogfish Head's Indian Brown Ale, which, fun fact, was actually one of my original favorite craft beers.
I think that's still my favorite Dogfish beer.
I would agree with that. I think it's still my favorite Dogfish beer also. If you're looking for dessert in a glass, you want to skip the pie, try something roasty and chocolatey, like an Imperial Stout. Try Old Rasputin's Russian Imperial Stout from North Coast Brewing, or Kane Brewing, A Night to End All Dawns, which I was lucky enough to get my hands on this year.
Can I submit an addition to
Absolutely. Anything you want.
that? Southern Tier Creme Brulee.
No,
I think that
no,
would follow, I think
veto,
it would follow it
veto,
very well.
Veto.
Come on.
What about their new cinnamon
Veto.
bun beer?
No, veto.
I want to try it.
Veto.
Bonn Place Brewing's Merci.
Yes.
There you go.
Perfect.
Well, we were working up to that, of course.
Perfect. If you want something a little creamier or slightly lower in alcohol, because maybe you're getting too much of a buzz by that point, try Left Hand's Milk Stout Nitro.
Ooh, great beer.
Delicious. Still thirsty after all this? Why not sip on a nice boozy barley wine by the fire after dinner? Anchor's Old Foghorn is quite delicious, or Alesmith's Old Numbskull.
If you're still thirsty after all that, just break out the whiskey at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So if you can't do all those beers and you're just like, just give me one beer that I can enjoy with the entire meal, I highly recommend a good farmhouse ale or a bière de garde. Farmhouse ale is like Hennepin from Brewery Omegang, or Saison. Any Saison from Side Project, if you get there. I was there this year, is amazing. Or Funkworks Saison is quite delicious. Or try a tasty bière de garde like Sierra Nevada's Trip in the Woods, their bière de garde, or Avant Garde from the Lost Abbey. But no matter what you choose, make sure it's a beer that you love. It really doesn't matter. And let us know what your favorite Thanksgiving beer picks are. Tag us on social media. And happy Thanksgiving.
Leave us a voicemail. Tell us about your favorite
call us
holiday
and
beers.
tell us.
805-991-BEER.
And like Joe Man does, call us when you're drunk.
805-991-2337.
Call us from the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Yeah, have your entire family
Say hi.
call us to say Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, y'all.
I'm
really
here
like
drinking
this-
Genesee cream ale and cockroaches.
Yes. I'll be there. Who's bringing the liverwurst?
Not me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Let's drink more beer.
Yep, we got a beer again.
Sounds good.
Beer me. Beer. Do the one. Beer.
Well, we got to get the beer in front of us
beer,
first.
Yeah,
That's the new one. Beer.
hit the thing now.
Go ahead.
Poo-poo.
Round two, fight.
It kind of smells like pickles.
I think that's just in your own head now.
Well, the sage would lend a certain herbal element,
bit,
and
yeah.
then also the local hops. They're very grassy. And then the buckwheat. It's last call for poutine.
Last call
Oh,
for
I was gonna
poutine.
say, it's only 9 o'clock.
Good job, fuckface.
What kind of Quaker community is this? So we didn't officially say on actual
Yeah, what it is. Is this the Savage Glory? Is that what
Savage
this is?
Glory,
All right.
yes.
real-time podcast time.
So Savage Glory is a 4.5% grisette made with entirely Deer Creek malt. It's malted oats, malted buckwheat, malted wheat, and then malted barley. I believe there might be some raw wheat in there as well for dextrins and for some body. The idea with that was to make a farmhouse ale that you may have seen in Wallonia in the late 1800s, early 1900s for the coal miners. Something that would have a lot of malted grain that wasn't necessarily barley, whatever they were growing on the farm. And then also utilizing a bittering agent or something herbal subsidizing the hops because they may not have had the hop supply as well. So although we used all local whole leaf hops, and they were not noble variety, they were Pennsylvania varieties, or rather Pennsylvania grown right down the street here in Northampton County by Wasser Farms, Wasser Hop Farms, a very small hop yard in Center Valley here. And then again, the grain was all PA grown and then malted by Deer Creek. Would you like me to lower this music? Is this like really loud?
No, there's just particularly a lot of bass right now. I was kind of feeling it.
Cool.
I don't mind
it's
at all.
the after party.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the after party, right? Or
It's the no more poutine. Now we party.
Yeah, this is the
right.
no more poutine.
Last call for poutine.
I thought he said booty at first.
Sure, he did.
Last
the
call for
poutine
booty.
is delicious, and there's vegan poutine.
I really like this beer.
Isn't it cool?
It is really cool. It does that peanut character.
It really does.
It's
You
like
said
really
there's,
cool.
Like, no
Yeah.
peanut oil or anything in this, right?
There is nothing peanutty about
nothing
that.
peanutty.
Yeah.
See, and I get a very cucumber taste out of it.
I get
which
big
is-
time melon.
Yeah, it's quite pleasant, and
It does
I like
have
it.
yeah. It has that like that not sweet melon character, like a cucumber.
Rind.
Yeah.
Skin, you know.
Yeah.
What I think is really cool about this beer, apparently Josh was saying that every commercial beer that they brewed with Deer Creek buckwheat had that peanutty thing at first, and that sort of mellowed, which I actually don't mind the peanutty thing because it's more like, it is a little peanut buttery, but it's also just like sort of legume. It's like earthy.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not super sweet. You know,
Right.
like
It's
like
not
peanut
malty
butter.
like-
Yeah.
malty sweet and then peanutty on top of it, which would make it
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is cloying. It's quite dry, and I think a beer like this would be really good at Thanksgiving with your meal. Like this will cut through that greasy turkey or this like the fatty stuffing and everything.
Yeah.
It has almost that garden salad effect, like very refreshing. I've been sipping since we put it on tap last night. I've been really enjoying that. I also love farmhouse ales, but again, in the vein of doing a grisette, last year we did a grisette with Brettanomyces. This year I wanted to use a straight Saison strain, and I wanted to give it a little bit more, we'll say drinkability, but something that the masses could enjoy more instead
Yeah,
of making
like
it
a
so funky.
Broader appeal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I'm
yeah.
curious. I wonder if you hadn't said peanuts, and
Yeah, I
peanut
shouldn't
butter,
have- yeah.
if I would have thought that for right off the bat, because as soon as I smelled it after you said that, I was like, this smells like peanuts, and it's just that's weird. I would just wonder.
What's neat about that is that people who can't have peanut butter can have that.
True.
True. Yeah.
And
Now that I take a whiff of it, I do get a little more like almost funkiness out of it. Out of the aroma. I don't get the peanuts anymore.
Yeah, the further you go down, you get less of the. I think you get less of like the herbalness, less of the peanutness.
Yeah, for sure.
And more of the melaniness and the more of the body, I guess.
Yeah, there's a
For lack
certain
of a better
there's
way
a
to put
certain
it, I'm not sure.
there's a certain depth or complexity to it that I think is really kind of different. You know,
Yeah.
it's a culinary beer. We had a beer here called After the Fox, which was a lemon rosemary imperial saison.
Whoa.
And that was done with Saccharomyces Sactois bruxellensis. So that had a lot of Brett character. That was really cool too. So we like to play with these farmhouse, and that was all Deer Creek malt as well. It's a little bit more hefty investment on an experiment, but I feel like if I'm going to do a farmhouse ale, I should use more heirloom varieties of grain if possible, or something at least local, if
Yeah.
not heirloom.
Yeah.
I'm getting basil now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's just like a lot of layers as you go through. It's
A lot
pretty
of
nice.
certain grassiness, earthiness that, you know, again, on first sip, you're like, it's a, I don't want to say it's a, it's not like a paradigm shift, you know, because I don't think any beer really is unless it's Hill Farmstead, but I don't think, no, for real though, I don't think it's like this super mind F, you know, it's not like, whoa, what is it? But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, that's neat, I wasn't getting that before. And that's why a beer like this, I really think you need at least 8 ounces or a pint of it to really get through those layers and sort of be able to analyze it. For our purposes, 4.5 ounces works, but it's one of the reasons I never liked flights, because you move from beer to beer so quickly, and unless it's very well manicured and you have maybe, now say you had the blackberry tart after that, that would just totally sorbeto your palate. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, now I'm ready for the next beer.
Right,
but if
right,
you're
right.
not doing that, you
just
still
kinda
have that
randomly-
living
yeah.
in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And now for your not IPA.
Yes. Our PA. Our any DPA.
Yeah.
Very, very nice aroma. I like it.
Thank you. It's all-
Juicy. It smells juicy.
Oh, she's a juicy one.
I'm getting
Very
juicy.
citrusy.
She's a juicy one. She's a
little hazy.
No bittering hops at all in this beer. It's all late edition, all Mosaic and Whole Melon, which are two of my absolute favorites. If I had to say I had favorite hops, Mosaic, Whole Melon, Cascade are way up there. I'm really enjoying Haller Tower Blanc at the moment. We have a sort of pseudo pilsner we can get into as well. It's a pilsner, but
Pseudo pilsner
fermented with ale yeast. Cool. So I guess I'd call it an alt beer or a Kolsch or something like that. Maybe it's not as dark as an alt beer,
Right.
but maybe a Kolsch sort of.
Mhm.
And we did that with all Haller Tower Blanc and Whole Melon, and I love these hops. They're just so there's a lot of nuance to them. They're not as aggressive. We'll do a beer all Simcoe, Mosaic, Citra, for instance. Butt Rock is all of these hops. And although I enjoy these hops also, Butt Rock. It's like a glass of Creed.
I vividly remember that social media post.
Butt Rock,
when you
yeah.
guys tapped that.
It's like a glass of Shinedown.
wide open.
On the way up here, Creed popped into my head because there was a lower street, and it was like, I wonder if there's a higher street.
Can you take me higher?
Stop. Make it stop.
Start the Nickelback, and we got
Make it
a new
stop.
show, kids. So yeah, you're drinking Scooch, also named after my son. He's the Scooch.
He's the Scooch. I like that. I like that
He's
name.
had 3 beers named after him at this point.
Oh yeah. What are the others?
After
Hopefully not Butt Rock.
Nemo, and of
Nemo,
course
that's right,
Uncle
yeah.
Cray Cray. After the Fox, which was also named after an Italian film that I happen to enjoy. His middle name is Renard, which means fox in French. It's also my father-in-law's name. It's a beautiful name. Again, Ron.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
I didn't.
Renard means fox.
Renard, yeah.
Interesting.
So Monsieur Renard, my son, mon fils, he had the beer was named after the fox.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, cool, huh?
I like it.
Thanks, man.
I like it.
Thanks, man.
It's what I'm here for.
So yeah, Scooch, we were sort of searching for a name for our new. I want to say we've done 8 or 9 hazy, hoppy New England styles with great success. And those are always the toughest to name because it's like, shoot, well, what do we name this one? And that's when I get to be like, well, I've been wanting to name a beer this, but it also happened to be Gina's, my wife's favorite. Like when she tastes, she's like, yeah, that's my new favorite. I was like, Scooch.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Named after your favorite human.
Aw. Now you're her second favorite human.
Second, whoa. You're giving me a lot of credit.
Let's not forget, second place is the first loser.
That's right. You're the first loser
I'm
in her life.
Mooey.
It's
You're
like
the
silver
medal.
Josh Bushy still has a gold. Hi, Josh. I love you.
Oh,
Teach
man.
me how to make beer. We've brewed together before. It was really cool.
He's a fun
I'd
guy
be
to brew
surprised
with.
if you didn't brew together.
Yeah, no, he's not a brewery whore like I am.
He's
Like-
also starred in a few of your videos as well.
Yes, Josh has been in at
I'm gonna
least
follow you guys
2.
right now.
Yeah, but then you have to go back through the catalog.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that when I'm bored at home tonight.
Or taking a shit.
That's what I was alluding to. But thank you.
When else do you go on social media?
That's
Yeah,
a fact.
really.
During a podcast.
I'm a
During a
millennial
podcast
all
and while
the
you're
time.
taking a shit.
Poo-poo.
Did you search that?
It's still on there.
Because you should search that.
I actually saw
Soch.
a clickbait listicle on the internet that was actually like it was like 15 funny pictures to look at while you're pooping.
That's too obvious.
Yeah, it was very on the nose.
What is this company that watches you through your cell phone? TSA. What are they called?
Company? That's
Yeah.
a branch of the government.
The government?
Sure.
It's
Right.
called
So company.
the United States Government Incorporated.
Catholic Church Incorporated. Oh, geez.
Limited liability.
Oh, okay. Staying out of the religion and politics.
Isn't that why
yes.
we became a country, though? To have freedom of religion?
That's right.
Yeah. And freedom of
Pretty sure it's an LLC.
conglomeration.
What's that guy's name? Bob Newhart? Bob Newhart?
Bob Newhart.
Who was George Bush's vice president? Dick Cheney?
Dick
Not
Cheney.
Bob Newhart.
Not Bob Newhart.
Yeah.
Wow.
1,000 monkeys at 1,000 typewriters.
Yep, pretty
That's
much.
Bob Newhart. Grimy, as he liked to be called. Simpsons references all night, man.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
making
my.
Dan the happiest person ever.
Yeah.
Frank Grimes or Grimy.
So if you wanted to follow Bonn Place on these wonderful socials, BonnPlaceBrewing.com, or they are Bonn Brewing on all the socials. But I highly recommend following them on Instagram because it is quite entertaining.
It's a lot of fun. We try to get something every week, something fun every week. If it's not a naked image of myself, which is always hysterical, it's usually a funny video.
Yes. the videos are certainly my favorite with the guest stars.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to call Sam from Dog. I want to get like some superstar brewer.
Sam would totally do
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Oh hell
definitely.
yes!
Totally. In a bunny suit. I've seen him in a bunny suit.
And
by the
then
way.
call us so we can be here for it.
Yes.
Sure thing.
We'll film
Guys,
you filming
quick.
it.
Ooh,
Guys, come quick.
another idea.
Oh,
Bring
boy.
money.
Get Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, Will Wheaton.
Who?
That's our dream podcast guest.
Who's he?
Who?
Ensign Wesley Crusher.
Shut up, Wesley.
I don't know what you guys are saying.
Shut up, Wesley.
Is he from the play Hamilton? I just heard about this yesterday.
Yes.
He was in Star Trek.
Star Trek Next Generation.
And he does the Woot Stout from Stone.
With Stone.
Stone Brewing Woot Stout.
Stone farking Woot Stout.
I don't have a television. Does that help?
You have the internet.
I do
the
have the
internet.
internet on my cell phone, but all I do is look at my own posts and like
He's
them.
and write
also on
poo-poo
Big
on the
Bang
back of the
Theory
phone.
every now and then.
He's in. Oh, I've seen Big Bang Theory.
He's the one that makes fun of Sheldon.
Bing Bang Theory.
Will Wheaton.
Bing bong.
He makes fun of Sheldon.
Well,
Isn't
he's
that everybody?
He
the one
plays
with-
himself
he's the
on
one
Big
with
Bang
the,
Theory.
the poorly executed beard.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. He does have a poorly executed beard. Yes.
I used to have a poorly executed beard.
Now you have a well-executed mustache.
Correct.
It's true, actually. Yeah, it is pretty well executed.
Just for you guys.
I'm honored.
Actually, we had a photo. We had an interview with Craft Beer and Brewing. Is this what it's called?
Sure.
Craft Brewing and Beer.
Sure.
It's a publication.
Craft beer and brewing, I think, is
John Hall writes
Okay.
for them, and I'm buddies. Well, I'm buddies with him through the beer world for years, and he sent his photographer out today, so that's why I have the mustache. Was for photos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not for us.
It is because I knew I was going to be on a podcast this evening, and I said, "Gina, what's a
The
podcast?"
shiftiest eyes I've ever
Ooh,
seen.
this could be
Is
the
that
first
like a-
ever
is that-
pod stash.
Is that like a bunch?
Pod stash. Hashtag pod stash.
Pod stash, hold on.
Are all the dolphins coming over?
Oh, so long and thanks for all the fish.
Sorry, I was being photographed
We're-
by one of your pods.
yes, by one of our casters.
Is this like Cocoon?
We're like wizards. We cast pods.
I always thought a group of wizards would be called a bucket.
The other day I saw a group of young people being obnoxious, and I thought to myself, what do you call a group of millennials? Like a murder of crow?
Yeah.
A pride of lions?
Pod of
no,
dolphins.
An irony. An irony of millennials.
Oh, a Pabst Blue Ribbon of millennials. That's pretty good. An irony's pretty good. An ironing board. A board.
A board.
A board of millennials.
A board of directors.
Aborted millennials.
Aborted.
Wow.
Wow.
God. That's a metal band. Aborted millennials.
We are from Sweden. We are here to play the rock and roll music for you. We are aborted millennials.
Turn your brain off.
Yeah, turn it up to 11.
Yes. I get that one.
So long story short, go to @Bonn Brewing.
Yes.
Yeah,
On
all
the
this and
socials.
more can be yours.
Yes.
A pod of millennials.
For the low price of your soul.
Of an Instagram account.
I'm literally hashtagging everything you guys are
That's
Oh,
amazing.
here we go. So to see all those hashtags, follow Beerbusters
@Beerbusters
on Instagram
on the
and
Instagrams.
Twitter.
And the
We're
Twitter.
on Facebook too. Hey, we have a Google Plus. Sometimes I feel like posting on Google Plus is like shouting into a void. But I do it anyway because we have it. So
Oh, crap.
anybody.
Just remember @Beerbusters, Beerbusters Podcast on the Facebooks. Text us, call us, 805-991-BEER, 805-991-2337.
Show us some love.
And of course, don't forget patreon.com/Beerbusters, where
That's right.
you will be one of the few, the lucky, the proud, that gets to listen to Beerbusters Last Call.
It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty cool. Because
Imagine
imagine
the editing's a little sloppy, but it's worth it.
I actually listen to them.
Yeah. She doesn't listen to the things I edit, just the things Wayne
Hey,
does.
I listened to the podcast you guys were on that I was not.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
to be
That I
fair,
listen
though,
to.
the things that you edit are like an hour and 45 minutes long. The things that I edit are like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly. So it's easier
Touche.
to do.
This, unfortunately, my friends,
This very unfortunately does bring us to the end of another episode
of Beerbusters.
of Beerbusters. It's been a hell of a time.
Had a lot of fun here tonight, guys.
Sam, thanks for having us out here, man.
It's super exciting.
You can.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All about that
That's
bass.
what we say.
All about that bass.
All about that bass. That
No
bass
treble.
that was in the background a lot. Bethlehem is cool. There's a casino, and there's also Bonn Brewing.
But
Bonn
there's
a
Brewing, I
casino.
apologize. There's a casino.
But
Yeah.
Easton has golds.
Hey, guys,
Yes.
gambling's legal here now. I know
It
if you
is.
guys
Yeah, I
know.
know. Who would have known?
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you come out here from Bonn Place, and then maybe swing up to the Sands.
And vegan treats.
Well, I'm Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
We'll see you next time.
And Mr. Me.
And Mr. Me. Squids.
Brad.
Josh.
Josh Bushy still has a gold.